Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Eternal Life Game, My Life is Strengthened. Chapter 61. After some operations, Li Mumu once again handed the new weapon to Yi Feng. Wait a moment. Yi Feng suddenly paused. Li Mumu was stunned. What happened? Old Wang, take out my quick-acting Juxin pill, I'm afraid I can't bear it. Yi Feng ordered Lao Wang beside him. Yes, young master. Seeing Lao Wang take out the quick-acting Juxin pill, Yi Feng took the weapon. Take a deep breath and calm down. View properties. Prudian sword. Equipment requirements. Strength 8000. Agile 5000. Equipment effect. Strength plus 100000. Agility plus 800,000. Mental strengthening. Strength plus 30000. Proud. I am the only one in heaven and earth. The one who holds this sword has the aura of king and domineering, and the attack damage is increased by 5000%. Day by day. He is just a lackey, I want the sky to surrender at my feet. Every time I am hit by this sword attack, my own gravity will be doubled. Note. Long Aoshan's exclusive sword has been infected by his domineering energy all year round and gained some of Long Aoshan's abilities. Comment. I, Long Aoshan, will protect Lu Bor to the death. After Yi Feng saw the properties of this sword, his breathing began to become rapid. His face turned red. Quick, give me the quick-acting Juxin pill. Upon seeing this, Lao Wang hurriedly handed the pills to Yi Feng, and at the same time took out a pot of water so that Yi Feng could take the medicine. Call. After a while, Yi Feng finally regained his breath. So shocking. He had never seen such outrageous attributes in his life. It's not like he has never seen attributes with bonuses worth millions. I've seen it in some soul professionals. But this feature is outrageous. Damage increased by 5000%. 50 times. That's right. Anyone that comes out on the market with a 100% bonus is already at the level of a magic weapon. Now, mass production is actually possible here at Dashan Li. Don't dare to think, just calm down. Yi Feng, you need to calm down, otherwise you will have to take Juxin pill again. Yi Feng raised his head again, his eyes no longer so calm. Instead, it was full of naked desire. The fiery gaze made Li Mumu feel a little uncomfortable. Great God! This weapon can be strengthened. Yi Feng confirmed again. Although Li Mumu has said many times that he can be as strong as he likes, as long as his lifespan is enough. But this fact is terrible. It was so scary that Yi Feng couldn't believe it easily. This is not a golden thigh. This is the golden giant leg max. Oh, don't you bother me. I told you that it can be strengthened infinitely, provided you have that much lifespan. Li Mumu was a little anxious. Being asked the same question over and over again. It's really annoying. Haha, sir, don't be angry. It's just me who has no knowledge. This bonus is too scary. I can't believe it. Yi Feng immediately lowered his attitude and admitted his mistake. The eyes of the servants around him almost popped out of his head. The young master, who had always been proud, had never shown such a flattering expression. Even if they are the only profession, their young family head may not necessarily give him a good look. Is the enhancement of the man in front of me really that strong? Let their young master lose his temper like this. Is Yi Feng proud? Of course proud, but it's not mindless. Of course it doesn't matter if a great god like Li Mumu can be in his own hands. But just by looking at this mount, Yi Feng knew that this was not something his family could think about. If you can't control it, you can only lick it. Great God, I just said the wrong thing, so I owe this 100,000 lifespan to my apology. Yi Feng took out the remaining 100,000 lifespan in his body. These investments are worth it. Am I such a powerful person? Li Mumu looked serious. The 20% discount we agreed on is the 20% discount. Just give me a lifespan of 80,000 years. Boss, your sudden turn is really not funny. Yi Feng was almost scared to death. At his level, what are you most afraid of? It's not that if you give too much to others, you will suffer a loss. It's about giving away things that others don't want. Just this proud sword. Don't talk about giving away 80,000 lifespan. Even if he gives away 800,000 yuan, he will make a profit for the entire family. Of course Li Mumu also makes money. When doing business, everyone is happy, and only then can the business flow smoothly. Master, What did you say? The discount is the processing fee for strengthening. This 100,000 years is a little bit of my heart. How can my heart be discounted? Yifeng quickly transferred his lifespan of 100,000 years. Master Li gave him face, but he also had to be sensible. Hey, you're right. How can we compromise our intentions? How about we continue to strengthen them? Li Mumu smiled happily. If you do it again, it will be 1,000,000 years of life. At that time, you can strengthen your whole body again. Woohoo, the feeling of invincibility is about to come again. Master, please wait for me to raise money for a while. I have no life left in my body today. Yifeng tearfully refused, although he also wanted to strengthen the Aotian sword again. Helpless and short of money. A lifespan of 1,000,000 years is not a small sum for a big family like theirs. The hundreds of thousands of years of life he just took out have already drained his small treasury dry. That's it, okay, then you can tell me if you need it. Li Mumu waved his hand to send Yifeng away. He will do something big next. Post a video. Now that I am an internet celebrity. Why not strike while the iron is hot? You know, he never intended to hide his talent. Now there is Space Dragon King. Just leave all the shooting to Dragon King AI. Then a video quietly appeared on the internet. It quickly topped the hot search list. I am Li Mumu, do you want to know the secret of why I am so strong? Click in. Li Mumu showed in the video that after being strengthened by his talent. Changes in properties. Basically, it will be improved by 10 times, and at the same time, some extremely powerful characteristics will appear. Of course, he also showed off his latest mount. Sitting on this throne and speaking, I feel like my level has instantly risen. Also a reminder, those who want to strengthen can just come to him directly, but they need to rely on their own strength to get close to the head pyramid of the Dragon King. He did this mainly to screen out some people who were not strong enough. After all, people who are not strong enough have nothing to squeeze out of them. He also left a message at the end of the video. Currently, our strength is limited and we only accept orders from China. People from other countries will not be accommodated. He also did this for his own selfish reasons. Although for him, he is not afraid of strengthening his equipment to make his enemies stronger. Because his backhand can be more powerful. But not for China. He is not afraid of causing trouble for himself, but what if these people use his strengthened weapons to attack the people of China? I can't control it myself. As for the interior of China, my family members, even dogs, have their brains blown out, and that is also an internal matter. So I can only endure the pain and earn less. As soon as Li Mumu's video was uploaded, it quickly became a trending video. Of course. This thing is the internet. Everyone understands it. A lot of trolls began to appear, saying that Li Mumu was just trying to gain fame, and his photos were gaining popularity. Cursing, equipment of this level cannot exist. If this kind of equipment could be mass-produced, they would be invincible by now. Who would say it out loud must have found a dark little corner to quietly make a fortune. In short, it is covered by all kinds of unbelievable remarks. Until a comment came up. Yifeng directly posted his Aotian sword in the comment area. At the same time, he said that anyone who slanders Li Mumu will be the enemy of their Yi family. The Yi family will always support Li Mumu and Li Dashan. As soon as this comment came out, it was immediately ranked first on the hot review list. Because Yi Feng's social account is authenticated. Comments quickly followed suit. No one questions the reality of reinforcement anymore. But the trolls. There will always be some problems discovered from a cunning angle. He, Li Mumu, was obviously strengthened by his talent, so why did he still need to charge for it? And it's so expensive. It's simply a scam. Of course, at this moment, Yifeng is Li Mumu's licking dog. He won't sit still and wait for death. Hit back immediately. How expensive is it? Isn't it good that this price has been maintained for so many years? Is it okay to look for your own reasons sometimes? It has always been difficult for people with enhanced talents to do well. The master is very conscientious, okay. He only charges a 10% handling fee. You guys go out and see other people with enhanced talents. Which charge is not higher than that of the great god, and the effect is far less than 1/10,000th of that of the great god. Why only strengthen Chinese people? With this kind of talent, if I were you, I would immigrate to a beautiful country immediately. Only in a beautiful country can your talent play its greatest role. What you said above is right, but Master Li Mumu, his surname is Li. The surname Li has been the surname of our great cold underworld since ancient times. He must have the blood of our great cold underworld flowing through him. I appeal to great Master Li that it is time to return to the embrace of the motherland. That's right, what's the use of staying in China with such a good talent? It's just a waste. Strengthening Guonan's equipment will only oppress women. It's better to go to the beautiful country. If you want to strengthen it upstairs, go ahead. The master doesn't restrict gender, right? You can't afford the strengthening fee, right? No, right. Sister is right, he should be allowed to strengthen our little fairy for free. Society has oppressed us for thousands of years, and now they should compensate us. Are you awake upstairs? It's been 3 years since the immortality game came out, and you're still boxing. Now it all depends on strength, okay. Today, when the physical fitness of the entire population is digitized, is there still the argument that men are strong and women are weak? It's so funny. I gave you a warning when you gave birth to a child. Now you have to pay back the warning, right? I say you should be free to dress freely. The Qing dynasty is dead. Nowadays, it is normal for a powerful girl to defeat dozens of men. Some people haven't been around for 3 years, and they still dare not go to the jungle to upgrade, and then they troll people online, right? That's not possible, right? Those with low strength are still being trolls, while those with high strength are already running towards Mobe City. A video. I don't know how many 500,000 it was when it exploded. However, it is currently only a hot search in China. People with good information are already rushing towards Mobe City. Yifeng originally had no intention of publicizing this matter. So that I can make a fortune in silence first. But I saw Li Mumu himself posting a video to promote it. I can't care about that much, so I'll give my support to the master online first. Then a family meeting was quickly held. You must know that the eternal game comes 3 years ago. Not everyone has the opportunity to have a unique career. The backbone is still this group of 500 level players. There are 10 ordinary professions with a total of 200 levels, and 3 advanced professions with a total of 300 levels. Without a unique profession, their upper limit is locked in disguise. Although some heavenly materials and earthly treasures can increase 4-dimensional attributes. But the rarity of that thing is not much better than the only profession. Secondly, there are various genetic medicines. Those that can be used should be used early. The upper limit for ordinary people is almost locked at this height. But now a new opportunity lies ahead. How can one not be crazy? There are also technological players. It can be said that their overall strength lies basically in their equipment. Equipment can be strengthened tenfold. That means their strength can be increased tenfold. It's hard not to go crazy. Suddenly, the sky in Mobe City began to change. Lord City Lord. There are a lot of high-energy reactions. The City Lord supported his forehead. Hey, help me draft a resignation report. And at this moment, Li Mumu sat slumped on the throne. Admiring my new career. After the 6th strengthening. Li Mumu just wanted to say that bullshit conspiracies must rely on hard power to speak for themselves. Origin of martial arts, 6th enhancement. Attribute modifier. Strength plus 10000. Agility plus 50000. Professional passive. Limit breaking. The level limit is raised to level 80. Weapon body. Every part of you is designed for fighting. All attack damage is increased by 100,000%, and attack speed is increased by 100,000%. The beginning of martial arts. The source of all martial arts comes from you. Every move you make is full of martial arts truth. Any martial arts is a flaw in your eyes, and you can easily resolve any martial arts attacks. No loss of combat health. All negative effects and control effects are converted into blood loss. After the blood volume is lower than 20%, there will be no blood loss. Before the blood volume reaches 0, the battle will always be maintained at full strength. The battle cannot stop. Weapon dominance. The weapon effect is fixed at 10,000%. Attack speed increased by 1,000 times. Li Mumu moved his fingers casually. High frequency vibration. 2nd career. Invincible with one thought. 6th stage of strengthening. Attribute modification. Spirit plus 1000000. Professional passive. Control, able to use telekinesis to form a force field that is imperceptible to the naked eye and exert physical influence at a distance. One spirit is equivalent to the object that 100,000 power can affect. Limit breaking, the level limit is raised to level 80. To be honest, feel nothing. It seems like that's it. Third career. I am invincible. Sixth enhancement. Attribute modification. Physique plus 5000000. Professional passive. Limit breaking, the level limit is increased to level 80. Invincible body, physical attribute performance increased by 100,000%. Stand behind me. Naturally gain a shield equal to physical strength x 1000, and the shield is restored by 1% every 1 second. I feel nothing. It's been 2 days since I entered the game. But nothing has caused his shield to appear. Li Mumu. Now I'll give you a chance to serve our Wang family. A voice came like rolling thunder. When Li Mumu heard this, he became excited. Sure enough, there are still idiots in this world. He obviously knew that he could hit Sasaki. But in the face of huge interests, there will always be a few crazy people. When Li Mumu posted the video, he was mentally prepared. I didn't expect it to come so quickly. I hope this person from the Wang family has some strength. At least knock down your own shield. Li Mumu roughly estimated his shield. 600 million body. The invincible body bonus becomes 600 billion. Then the shield is only 600 trillion. In addition, the Glory Finger Tiger and the Ring of Great Compassion both reduce damage by 50%, and only 25% of the final effective damage is left. Not too much, not too much. It is only necessary to remove 2400 megabytes. And preferably typed within 1 second. Wang sang. You have to work hard. Wang Fuan. The contemporary head of the Wang family in Beijing. Newly appointed, of course. Originally he was just an illegitimate son of the Wang family. But I got lucky and changed my job to the only profession, King of Slaughter. As a person who has been looked down upon by the family all year round. What will happen if you suddenly gain power? Of course, taking off the mask that has been hidden for more than 20 years. Wang Fuan, who was originally a submissive and honest man, suddenly turned into a cruel and cruel-killing king. In other words, this only profession is his true nature all along. Those who insulted his family were all punished by him one by one. Kill them all. Ridiculous. What he endured cannot be repaid by death. The cousin who once robbed his fiancée had his hands cut off and was now pulling a cart for him. The previous head of the family had his father, whom he had never seen since he was born, cut off his limbs and raised him in a tank. When he remembered, he fed him some food. I didn't remember, so I was hungry. The cousins who took pleasure in humiliating, beating and scolding him every day were sewn into centipedes by him and placed in his rare animal courtyard. He would go and see them when he was in a bad mood. In short, he didn't kill anyone he wanted to take revenge on. They even had to use the finest medicinal materials every day to keep their lives alive. Only in this way can he relieve the hatred in his heart. His approach was of course opposed by many people. But his only profession was too powerful, and no one in the family could resist. And what about everyone else? Who would do such a thankless thing? Even if you kill him in the immortal game, you will only lose 10 years of your life. And in the real world, he will usher in his crazy revenge. His only profession, King of Slaughter. His passive characteristics will make him stronger as he fights, and there may be a chance to kill him online. But offline, with similar fighting attributes, almost no one dares to mess with his only profession. So this is why he is so arrogant and domineering now. Li Mumu, I advise you to be honest. The reason why you can beat Sasaki Aki is because of your enhanced talent, which makes your basic attributes very exaggerated. But offline, without equipment, I don't believe you can still do it. So strong, I have sent people to your residence to wait for you to go offline. Wang Fuan said confidently. He knows very well where his advantages lie. When online, a large group of unique professions may have various ways to restrain him. But offline, I'm sorry that the bloodthirsty and reckless man Wang Fuan is invincible. Oh, yo, I'm so scared. Dragon King, give him some color and see. Li Mumu didn't panic at all, offline. Sorry, his naked attribute spirit has reached 50 million now. Counting the 100,000-fold enhancement of characteristics. A random thought has the power of 5 trillion. And that's not even counting the bonus from martial arts sources, if it were. When the atomic bomb comes, it can be silenced by him. Afraid of you. I'm afraid your surname won't be Li today. The Dragon King of the Great Space Wall, after receiving Li Mumu's order. Open the dragon's mouth. The space strategic level main gun was clearly displayed. Boom. The light, commonly known as a full-screen attack, swept across and immediately divided the sky of the eternal world into a big center part. Ahem, Tui, you have such a talent, but your attacks are just like this. It's a waste of your talent. After the attack, the ragged Wang Fuan coughed up blood and taunted him. One of the characteristics of his professional Slaughter King is that the lower the blood line, the higher the damage immunity and the stronger the attack power. Although he looked a little miserable at this time, his actual combat power was many times stronger than when he was in perfect condition. Tisk, you still have 2 brushes. Li Mumu was not surprised, this Wang family member was not dead. After all, the Dragon King is just a mount, even though it has been strengthened by himself for 5 rounds. But he knew clearly that he could beat Sasaki, yet he still dared to make noise. If you don't have a trump card, you are really a fool. Since you refuse to submit to me, I have to let you recognize your own strength first. At this time, Wang Fuan fell in love with the Dragon King from the first sight. Such a majestic mount is only worthy of him, the Slaughter King. This great Master Li has only talent, but he only knows how to strengthen these external objects. Huh, just a piece of trash. As soon as his thoughts flashed by, Wang Fuan took the lead in attacking. Dragon King's force field shield. I, the Slaughter King, crush it with 1 punch. Pyramid's gravity shield. I, Wang Fuan, can break it with just 1 hand. Li Mumu's face was full of mockery, half smiling, and his eyes were dull with a blazing headdress. It seems like he is mocking himself all the time. Snort. I will let the world understand how miserable the fate of those who dare to look down on me, Wang Fuan, will be. You, Li Mumu, will strengthen your equipment every day from now on, and be insulted by me at other times. Li Mumu looked at Wang Sang. Breaking through the Dragon King's 2 barriers with overwhelming force, the Dragon King AI wanted to continue to intercept. He was stopped by Li Mumu. Because there are really too many flaws. Are you using martial arts in front of my martial arts source? Who do you look down on? He stretched out his little finger and poked it in front of him. Wang Fuan obediently put his armpit up. Ouch! Wang Fuan screamed. Pain! It hurts so much. Li Mumu poked a big bloody hole in his armpit. Mean. Wang Fuan's eyes were blood red and he looked at Li Mumu with a look that wanted to eat him alive. Hey, it's obviously you who bumped into me, okay. Li Mumu was just experimenting with his ability to see flaws. Well, it's useful, but it's not necessary. Activate your mind. Confinement. Because of career enhancement. Now Li Mumu's mental power has reached 100 million. Li Mumu's confinement was just to use his mind power to form an immovable force field around the enemy. It's not a direct attack. Therefore, you cannot get the talent bonus from the martial arts source. You can only get the bonus of the own characteristics of the Yin Yen invincible profession. Well, not much. It's only 10 trillion. What did you do to me? Why can't I move? At this time Wang Fuan also noticed something was wrong. He actually couldn't move. This was the first time he encountered such a situation after switching to his only profession. You must know that his only professional Slaughter King can transform all negative states into combat effectiveness. Unfortunately, Li Mumu's telekinesis does not belong to any control skills. Just using force will make you unable to move. Okay, do you have any last words? I won't play with you anymore since my business is here. From the corner of his eye, Li Mumu saw many more people flying over not far away. I just want to get rid of this Wang as soon as possible. HMPH, I admit that you are strong, but don't think that you are invincible. I, Wang Fuan, want to get nothing that I can't get. I'll wait for you offline. Wang Fuan showed a cruel smile. He is just a person who relies solely on equipment attribute bonuses, and he can be taken care of in minutes offline. Tisk. Li Mumu had a thought. Fresh tomato juice comes out of the oven. I know you are confident, but don't be so confident. The game of immortality is entered into the game physically. If you can't afford it, you can hide in the eternal world forever. Of course, it's a situation you can't afford to mess with. Now Lee Mumu plans to earn a lifespan of 1 million years first. Then switch to the advanced profession of freesman and strengthen it 7 times. Go offline again to send warmth to Lao Wang's family. Oh, that person just wanted to force me to use him. You shouldn't have such thoughts, right? Lee Mumu looked at the large group of people in the distance, and they all looked like they didn't dare to get close. Immediately I realized that I might have been misunderstood for committing murder and cheating. He quickly explained with a smile. The smile is bright and full of sunshine. When everyone heard this, they felt relieved. Just because Wang Fuan is so famous. The methods used to retaliate against the Wang family caused quite a stir. He even sought out many of the people who accused him on the internet for revenge. Master Li, what did you say? We just want him to help us strengthen our equipment. The leader stood up and said. It's easy to say that only equipment with a basic attribute of 10,000 or more will be strengthened. The cost of strengthening is different depending on the equipment attribute. Equipment with an attribute level of 10,000 will cost 10,000 years. Equipment with an attribute level of 10,000 will have a lifespan of 100,000 years, and so on. The handling fee will be 10%. No problem. Bar. Lee Mumu has not set a limit. As long as the lifespan is arranged in place, you are guaranteed to be satisfied. No problem, master, can you see if this piece of equipment of mine is okay? As he spoke, everyone took out the equipment they wanted to strengthen. This group of people are basically people who were originally near Mobe City, and they don't have a single occupation. So the oil and water on the body is limited. Most of them can only be strengthened for 10,000 years and 100,000 years. Only the leader is strengthened for 1 million years. Everyone cried bitterly when they saw the newly acquired powerful equipment. Who knows, with all this equipment, places that I didn't dare to explore before are now dared to go. Those who used to know the clues to finding employment in the only profession but were not strong enough to explore it now have the opportunity. It is no exaggeration to say that Lee Mumu is their reborn parent. Lee Mumu gave them a chance to be reborn and give them a chance to reach a higher level. Everyone asked Lee Mumu to give them a friend position. They were all declined by Lee Mumu, telling them that when they wanted to strengthen in the future, they could just come directly to the Dragon King on the Great Space Wall. After all, a body length of 100,000 meters is not a small thing anywhere. And these people have little value. You better be friendly to Brother Yifeng, otherwise your 250,000 years of life will be wasted. After sending these people away, Lee Mumu's lifespan reached a whopping 2 million years. However, he did not choose to continue strengthening. At this moment, people far away from him can't catch up for the time being. He didn't want to just wait, so he decided to get the advanced profession of freesman first. When the time comes, Kilian will be directly strengthened, and Woohoo will take off. Dragon King, do you have a map of this world? Lee Mumu patted the faucet on the seat and asked. I just connected to the internet and all relevant basic information has been downloaded. Dragon King's AI replied. At the same time, at the armrest, open a box. An earring lay there. Master, if you wear this earring, you can also send commands to me remotely when I am absorbing energy in space. When Lee Mumu heard this, he thought it was so convenient. Put on the earrings quickly. From now on, you no longer need to know everything, you will also have a database. As for letting the Dragon King launch attacks from space, satellite destroyers and so on. Well, you can use it when you want to look cool. That's right. Dragon King, fly at a low altitude and destroy all monster targets found along the way. The target is the ancient forest. Why sit down when you can upgrade while lying down? After receiving the order, the Dragon King adjusted the flying altitude to about 1,000 meters and flew straight towards the ancient forest. Artillery fire washed the ground along the way. The kill prompts in Lee Mumu's ears kept ringing. Occasionally, if you kill 2 high-level monsters, you can still drop a lifespan of several decades. After muting the beep, Lee Mumu took off the King Bear's head. At the same time, the Pot of Desire is summoned. Theoretically speaking, the initial attributes of this Bear King head are not very high. Continuing to strengthen him is not profitable. But the attribute of being immune to mental attacks is so good that I can't bear to change it. And he wears a bear head hood, how handsome he is. Directly strengthen it twice, and the lifespan of 110,000 years will be smashed. The brand new Bear King head is released. Bear King Crown Hongmeng Edition. Wearing requirements, Strength 500. Wearing effect, Strength plus 8000000. Physique plus 5000000. The power of the Bear King Hongmeng Edition, huge. Subversive. Enhanced strength that makes people crawl to the point of twisting and turning. The actual effective power is plus 50,000%. The majesty of the Bear King Hongmeng version, the majesty of the king cannot be questioned. Wearing this helmet can make you immune and counter attacks according to your own spiritual attributes. Note, the majesty of the king cannot be violated. And now, my master, you are their king. Comment. Even the Bear King of the Immortal Mountain must surrender at your feet, my master. Woohoo. Fight back according to your own spiritual attributes. It's not like someone else just launches a small mental attack, and your own rebound can directly turn the person into an idiot. Base. A golden light flashed. Li Mumu upgraded. Li Mumu set the default experience to be allocated to I am invincible. Then Li Mumu lay on the throne and used a holographic projection to scan the video. Except for a moment of golden light flashing, which dazzled the eyes a bit. That's called comfort. Huh. Li Mumu suddenly saw a live broadcast. State crackdown on evil forces. As for why Li Mumu paid attention to this live broadcast. Because the place of battle is his home. Click to enter the live broadcast room. Finally someone has taken care of Wang Fuan. The sky has eyes. I just said something on the internet that I didn't know the truth and refused to comment, and he chopped off both of my legs. Ha ha ha, he must have hit the wall this time. As for Master Li's talent, he also wants to take it for himself, and the country cannot agree to it. That's right, that's right. Master Li has made it clear that only people from China will be strengthened. The country is still sensible this time. Mengxin doesn't understand. I just want to ask why you didn't do anything before. Where are you celebrating the old almanac from 3 years ago upstairs? It just wasn't worth it if you didn't take action before, but now it's obviously just to show your kindness to Master Li. Li Mumu glanced at it. You probably know what happened before and after. This Slaughter King Wang Fuan, well, he just knew his name just now. After being killed by him, I went offline directly to block him. But Li Mumu's video has long been on the hot search list. His family can find out Li Mumu's information, how could the country not find out? And from what Li Mumu said, everyone knew that Li Dashan was still a Patriotic Party member. And then he has such a heaven-defying talent. Anyone who wants to control Li Mumu will not be allowed by the country. Everyone takes out the lifespan enhancement, and the national strength of the country is enhanced, making it bearable. Is your family the sole leader? I think you have a rebellious attitude. So they immediately dispatched 5 people from the Zodiac organization to kill the Slaughter King on the spot. Of course, more caring people are concerned. If the Slaughter King is killed, is the position of the only professional Slayer King now vacant? So do you have a chance? In the eternal world, only one profession can appear at the same time. Just like devil fruits, there will be no repetition. The combat effectiveness of the Slaughter King profession is obvious to all. Otherwise, the country would not have sent 5 unique professionals to intercept and kill him. It's a pity that every unique job-changing condition is a mystery. Otherwise, a person with Wang Fuan's character would have been liquidated long ago and replaced by someone else. This time it was also because Li Mumu's value was high enough that the country made this decision. When Li Mumu saw this, he also understood the country's intention in doing this. Decided. In the future, when the national team is strengthened, the handling fee will be 50% off. Li Mumu gave a thumbs up for his boldness. He is such a generous man. There was a fight detected below the master. Dragon King AI automatically reminded. At the same time, the battle scenes were also broadcast in real time. As soon as Li Mumu saw it, he knew that he had met the rightful owner. An entire convoy was equipped with cages. The cage was full of pitiful blonde waves, pointed ears, and body proportions of international supermodels. Everything declares their identity as elves. As for the warring parties, on one side should be the human traffickers who capture the elves. On the other side are the elves. At this time, Li Mumu, with the Dragon King slowing down and killing monsters along the way. The total level has reached full level 240, 3 professions, each at level 80. Now there is an urgent need to switch to a high-level professional freeze. So, how could I miss this opportunity to build a good relationship with the elves? Dragon King, go down and target the robbers, be careful not to hurt the elves. Dragon King of the Great Space Wall, received the order. His eyes flashed red and he switched to battle mode. All weapons of mass destruction are deactivated. At the same time, lower the altitude and start using weapons that can strike accurately. I saw the Dragon King, with dozens of laser rays emitted from the beard and hair on his head. Each laser beam accurately hits the center of a person's eyebrows. I didn't see it, you are still in obsessive-compulsive disorder. Li Mumu teased the Dragon King. This is the optimal solution to execute the master's orders. I replied coldly. Tisk. Li Mumu sighed. As expected, no one in AI was interesting to tease him. The cute king might have said angrily at this time. I'm not. Then the Dragon King lowered his height, and Li Mumu looked at a group of elves on alert. Why don't you rescue your comrades? Who are you? A female elf who was the leader among the elves came out and asked. Well, there is no Lady Bones Jade feet. But there are absolute areas. To make it easier to move in the jungle, tight-fitting leather stockings stretch out the sensuality of the thighs. Family members, who knows? Very eye-catching. I was passing through the ancient forest to do some business. Li Mumu told the truth. Originally, he was a familiar face and had good impressions. Of course it has to be sincere. But his words not only failed to make this group of elves put down their guard. Instead, he became even more nervous. Some elves have already started to knock arrows. What do you want to do in the ancient forest? Avril, the leader of the elf, frowned. Their goal today is to rescue the compatriots captured by the hunting team. Unexpectedly, a divine dragon suddenly appeared and killed all the people in the hunting team instantly. But she didn't dare let her guard down. Because this dragon is actually a human mount. She couldn't trust humans. I believe the price humans have paid is too heavy. Humans are a selfish, greedy, deceitful species, even less trustworthy than goblins. Forehead. Li Mumu was speechless. Now that I am releasing my kindness, you will not accept it. That's all. Li Mumu had a thought. All the prison cars fell apart. Including the elves who came to rescue, they were all controlled by him. Stand in line in front of him. It's easy for me to kill you, so I went to the ancient forest to do something. Do you believe it? I believe it. Avril spoke. See, any intelligent creature can be mean. Talk to you in a nice voice. If you also release kindness, then we are good friends. But you were suspicious from the start. Then we have to let them see Mr. Li's methods. Li Mumu placed a group of elves on the platform at the top of the pyramid. I'll take you back to the ancient forest. Is there any problem? At this time, these elves did not dare to object. They just shook their heads timidly, indicating that there was no problem. What are you doing in the ancient forest? Avril stepped forward and asked. Although this human being helped them a lot. But such a powerful human being. If you want to do harm to the ancient forest, even if she risked her life, she would intercept Li Mumu here. Oh, use that water of life. Li Mumu said indifferently. What? You are indeed the enemy. When Avril heard this, she immediately pulled out the short knife at her waist. He looked at Li Mumu with hostility. Ouch, what are you doing? Li Mumu could actually predict this reaction. After all, you can know it from the name Audiobook. Upon hearing this, it sounds like it is at least an elf treasure. That's why he thought of helping out first and building relationships. Just looking at this reaction, a normal relationship seems useless. Calm down first. Li Mumu used his telekinesis to ask Avril to take back the dagger. Think about it first, if I use force, will you be able to stop me? Even if we can't stop it, we won't give up. Avril Lavigne is tough talking. The main focus is a loser-no-loser formation. When things are gone, they can be recreated. When people are gone, nothing is lost. You have to think clearly. Regarding the character of the female elf in the lead, Li Mumu can't be said to be liked or disliked. After all, if it weren't for a person with this kind of personality, he would risk his life to protect something. Perhaps none of China's national treasures can be left behind. So this kind of single-minded person is still very cute sometimes. He just became her opponent. Well, all that's left is to appreciate it. Impossible. The Fountain of Life is related to the rise and fall of the entire elf clan. Even if it costs the lives of the entire clan, it is impossible to give it up. Avril Lavigne was emotional. Even the other elves around were staring at Avril firmly. It was as if she was just waiting for her to break the cup. Li Mumu rubbed his chin. This Fountain of Life is more important than he imagined. You can't change jobs just for yourself. Just delete the elves. Tell me first what this Fountain of Life is for. The Dragon King's database at this time only shows that the Fountain of Life can only be found in the ancient forest. Other detailed information is not available online. Li Mumu can only analyze it based on his many years of movie-watching experience. That is the most precious treasure of our elves. Nonsense, can you say something useful? Li Mumu rolled his eyes at the elf in front of him. If it weren't for the Absolute Realm, I wouldn't even want to look at it. The Fountain of Life is related to the reproduction of our elves. Ah, we elves are sterile. Avril Lavigne drops a bombshell. Ah, Li Mumu was shocked. Li Mumu is disappointed. Then half-elves no longer exist. Is that what you mean? If this is the case, he will be very sad. Do you know that this will affect species diversity? All elves are conceived through the Fountain of Life, so the Fountain of Life is equivalent to the mother of all elves, and it is impossible for any outsider to approach. Avril's eyes looked at Li Mumu, full of determination. And Li Mumu is still thinking about it at this moment. Elves are sterile, and the structure is almost the same as that of humans. That is to say, no wonder the market for elven slaves is so good. The people who do it are very excited. This is a bit difficult to handle. If you insist on asking for the Fountain of Life, we, the elves, will stop you with all our strength. I'm just going to use it to change jobs. It shouldn't affect it, right? Li Mumu spoke. He really just wanted to change jobs. Although you can choose to fight your way in. But that's a bad idea. Elves like them are all considered human units. Just kill him, nothing good will come of it. He didn't want to be a murderous dictator if he didn't have to. Who knows what you are going to do? As long as there is a trace of risk, we will not let you in. Avril didn't compromise at all. Li Mumu held his forehead. It seems there is nothing to talk about. Okay, it still depends on your strength. After Li Mumu finished speaking, he asked the Dragon King to activate the 10 times gravity field. A group of elves suddenly fell to the ground. The Dragon King also flew over the ancient forest at this time. Now that I have decided to use the stronger one. Li Mumu didn't bother either. Directly let the Dragon King turn on the power and play his own voice. Tell your stewards to come out. Li Mumu's words were heard in less than 2 breaths. A flash of green light directly penetrated the 2 barriers of the Dragon King and landed in front of Li Mumu. The person who came was none other than the Queen of the Elves of the ancient forest. The only professional elf king, Kagome. The unique profession of the elves is different from other unique professions. It can be passed down. And when passing it on, it can be passed on along with the level. According to rumors from the outside world, this elf king is conservatively estimated to be above level 10,000. So Queen Kagome flew up and saw the elves lying on the ground. He was not polite and wanted to attack Li Mumu with his staff. Mind power activated. Momentarily hold down the elf king. Although I don't know how high her level is. The basic attributes are definitely not bad either. But it's just Li Mumu's own feeling. A little fiddly, but not much. Calm down, they're fine. Li Mumu explained. What's your purpose? Kagome, the elf king, has no nonsense either. He captured so many of his compatriots. Call yourself out again. It's definitely not for chatting. Nothing, I just want to borrow your Fountain of Life. Li Mumu tried to communicate. If their leader is also so unyielding and has no sense of the overall situation. Li Mumu had no choice but to use his own iron-blooded methods. I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you. Elf King Kagome pursed her lips and spoke hesitantly. Hey, it seems that this cannot be resolved peacefully. Li Mumu sighed. It's really troublesome to change jobs. I hope the next career change task is to kill monsters. Just slap him to death like this. There is no need to be tortured by the three views educated in the original world like now. Sometimes it's not enough to be too great and upright. Li Mumu raised his hand. The Elf King thought Li Mumu was going to take action. He immediately opened his mouth to explain. Your Excellency has misunderstood. Speak. Li Mumu no longer had a good expression at this time. Although he admired their great determination to protect the heritage of their homeland. But I have been talking so loudly and angrily for so long. It's still a bit emotional. Elf King Kagome did not reply immediately. Instead, he looked embarrassed and looked at the elf lying on the ground without hesitating to speak. Li Mumu understood immediately. With a snap of his fingers, all the elves lying on the ground fell unconscious. Dragon King, send these elves to the rest room. After dealing with the elves, Li Mumu looked at the Elf King again. Can we talk now? Thank you for your understanding. The Elf King Kagome saw Li Mumu's behavior and said gratefully. It's not that I don't want to give the Fountain of Life to you, but the Fountain of Life has dried up. What the hell? Do you think I'm easy to deceive? Li Mumu laughed angrily. He is just easy to talk to, not stupid. Your Excellency, you know that in the past 3 years, due to the arrival of players, a large number of elves have been captured, right? Hearing this, Li Mumu nodded to show that he knew. The Fountain of Life is formed by our tribe's belief, the World Tree. The World Tree produces the Fountain of Life, which requires the elves, tribesmen to continuously provide faith. It's only in the past 3 years. When the Elf King Kagome said this, he stopped talking. He looked at Li Mumu expressionlessly. Nothing was said, but it seemed like everything was said. Gone. Li Mumu never expected it. The one who stabs you in the back must be one of your own. But you haven't had a new clan member for so long. Hasn't anyone noticed? Li Mumu asked back. It can be seen from the fact that the Elf King just did not want the ordinary elves to hear the news. Ordinary elves are not qualified to know this news. But now that the spring has dried up, then there will inevitably be no new elves born. How could this news be kept hidden? Even under normal circumstances, it will take several years for a new elf to be born from the Fountain of Life. Otherwise, according to the lifespan of our elves, we would have occupied the entire continent long ago. When the Elf King said this, he seemed a little unconvinced. So, how many members of your tribe have been captured over the years, and how many of your people have the Fountain of Life been wiped out by me? Li Mumu complained habitually. Then I had a second thought. There is no point in worrying about this matter yourself. Forget it, take me to the Fountain of Life. Isn't it just that I don't have enough faith and I can't get out of water? Someone Li. There are ways. The Elf King hesitated. What are you doing? It's all dried up, and you are all going to be exterminated. Why are you so hesitant? Don't try to flip the table over again. Li Mumu couldn't help but feel a little angry when he saw her like this. Feel good about earning millions in life today. All were defeated by this group of elves. Okay, you release the control and I'll take you there. The Elf Queen hesitated for a moment and saw Li Mumu's face looking like he was about to get angry again. Reluctantly agree. The World Tree deserves to be called the World Tree. Even the Dragon King of the Great Space Wall, which is 108,000 meters long. Combine the two. It is a coiled dragon pillar. Your World Tree is withered. Li Mumu looked at the bare World Tree and said to the Elf Queen. The World Tree, the Fountain of Life and the elves were originally a perfect cycle. The World Tree produced the Fountain of Life, the Fountain of Life gave birth to the elves, and the power of the elves, faith would feed back the World Tree. Unfortunately, in recent years, the strength of human beings has increased significantly. Started to capture elves on a large scale. World Tree lacks faith, Elf King Kagome smiled bitterly. Although her personal strength is very strong. But in the past 3 years, human beings have endless methods, making it difficult for her to guard against them. If this continues, it is possible that the elves will be exterminated. Tisk. Li Mumu clicked his tongue. Not that I sympathize with the elves. After all, the human race, when there are no elves, all of them will be captured. Li Mumu suddenly thought of it. The Principality of Reiner next door seems to be most famous for the Monster Girl custom shop. Is this elf considered a monster girl? Your Excellency, you also saw it, it's not that I didn't want to. That is to say, if this world tree can produce the fountain of life again, I can use it, right? If you have a way, let alone use the fountain of life, even if the Elf King does it for you, what's the problem? Elf King Kagome said. The situation in the past 3 years has made her desperate. She never thought that one day the elves might be exterminated by her hands. If the man in front of me really has a way to save the world tree and save the elves. So what if I make him the king? So what if he was human? Human men are lustful and greedy. As long as there is a way to save the elves, they will not hesitate to sacrifice themselves. Thoughts flashed through my mind. Then he shook his head again. Laughing at myself in my heart. Kagome, Kagome, what's wrong with you? How could you have such an idea? You said it. If you regret it then, I will overturn the table. Lee Mumu felt happy when he heard this. Don't tell me. He might actually have a solution. The problem now is that there are fewer elves. The faith provided to Yggdrasil is not enough. Asking him to retrieve these elves would be unrealistic in the short term. But, can't we just improve the conversion rate? Just like before, an elf could only provide 1 unit of faith power. The converted world tree is only 0.1. But just strengthen yourself for a few rounds. The world tree can convert the power of faith of 1 unit into the power of faith that is worth 100,000 or 10,000. Elf King, keep your eyes open and watch. Ah. Come out. Pot of lust. Oh, my most beloved. Lee Mumu pinched the mouth of the pot of lust. Brother, stop talking. There are outsiders. I'm so afraid of society. Do not do that. Strengthen. World tree. As you wish, my master. Hey, Tui. The pot of lust is full of strength. In the past, it was a mouthful of saliva. This time it's like the dragon that moves clouds and rains. I opened my mouth and started squirting and didn't stop. Hey, you can't be disrespectful to the world tree. When the Elf King saw this, he didn't know what Lee Mumu wanted to do. But she couldn't watch anything do such an outrageous thing to the source of their life and faith. Just watch. Lee Mumu looked at the Elf King who was about to raise his hand to cast a spell. Quickly put a mental restraint on him. Ding dong. The sound of water dripping sounded. The Elf King looked at the place where the fountain of life was in disbelief. How can it be? She knew clearly that the current number of elves was simply not enough to produce the fountain of life. What did this man do? Miracle. HMPH, you can't imagine how powerful I am. The pot of lust, come again. Lifespan minus 10 years. Originally it was just a fountain of life that was produced drop by drop. Now it is like a faucet that is not closed tightly. Form a thin line. No way, no way. The Elf King felt that his 3 views were about to be reshaped. Even at the peak of their elves. The fountain of life produced. That's all. How on earth did this man do it? Could he really be the incarnation of a god? Sent to save the elves? Stop it. Don't act like you've never seen the world, okay? The excitement is still down there. Lee Mumu smiled mischievously. Now it's time to show off. The pot of lust. My most beloved master, your faithful servant, always here. Continue to strengthen. Lifespan 100 years. With 100 years of life smashed down. The water flow that was originally like a thread suddenly became thicker and larger. Gush out. Because the water flow is too fast. Many fountains of life splashed directly into the face of the Elf King. The Elf King touched the water stains on his face. It is the fountain of life. A line of clear tears slid down both sides of her cheeks. What are you doing? It's like I bullied you. Lee Mumu looked at the Elf King with tears in his eyes and a red face as he looked at himself. What are you doing? I'm helping you for free. Why are you so aggrieved? Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just too excited. Elf King Kagome covered her mouth. Try your best to restrain yourself from crying. The elves can be saved. God, you finally heard my voice. At this time, she looked into Lee Mumu's eyes again. It is no longer about respecting the strong, but obsession, belief, and madness. This man was sent by the gods to save their elves. And she is the king of the elves. The purpose of her existence is to make the race great again. And Lee Mumu is the angel who makes their race great again. Therefore, Lee Mumu is the only value of her existence at this moment. Thinking of this, Elf King Kagome knelt down on one knee. Lord Envoy of God, I will serve you for the rest of my life. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. WTF. Who is the messenger? I, the Elf King Kagome, hereby swear that you will be the meaning of my existence. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Okay. Playing self-guided strategy, right. You're relying on me, right. Keeping the promise, I will hand over the only professional Elf King to the envoy of God. Kagome, who was kneeling on the ground, took off her crown. Pass it to Lee Mumu. Forehead. Will you answer it or not? Lee Mumu was a little confused. Personally, he doesn't want any worries. But being someone else's king, with his 3 views, it was impossible to ignore it completely. But, the inheritance of the Elf King. This is the only profession. Moreover, the Elf King is different from other unique professions. After this thing receives inheritance, it will be inherited along with the level. And you can even think about it with your feet. The elves have been passed down for so many years. Just recently, players invaded and almost wiped out the family. But the foundation that has been passed down for so many years is still there. I don't know how high the level is. It's so hard to choose. Just when Lee Mumu was confused, a voice interrupted his thoughts. Dad, to be honest, Lee Mumu, not to mention reading countless films. But it's also somewhat insightful. The original world, a TBC link, education from countless teachers. Let him have long been out of reach. Nosebleed. Please, in real life, how could someone get a nosebleed from seeing a beautiful woman naked? He didn't believe it anyway. Until 10 naked beauties with 9 heads and long legs. They stared at him eagerly together. Then, Dad. Father. Daddy. Dad. Lee Mumu was lost in the sound of father-in-law. Sorry, Teacher Kang. I am ashamed of your education. Lee Mumu looked at the Elf King beside him. What's going on? And the Elf King at this moment. The level of shock was no less than that of Lee Mumu. 10. Kagome felt like she was going crazy. With such a small spring of life, 10 elves were born at once. This shocked her even more than the rebirth of the Fountain of Life by the World Tree. To know the once Fountain of Life, it will take a long time to give birth to a brand new elf. And what's going on now? No, my brain is going to explode. Could this be the great power of the God Envoy? The look in Kagome's eyes at Lee Mumu was so disgusting that she almost pulled her hair out. Master God Envoy, you are worthy of being called upon. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Lee Mumu was speechless. Don't brag at this time. Father. Hey, don't call me yet. Who can tell me why you call me father? Lee Mumu looked at the 10 elves in front of him with different looks, but all of them were extremely beautiful. He spoke helplessly. Father, because we were conceived by you in the World Tree, you are our father. Forehead. He strengthened the World Tree himself. The World Tree now generates the Fountain of Life with its own energy. At first glance, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. But, your description, why is it like there is something indescribable between him and World Tree? Hey, Elf King, do something. Lee Mumu looked at the Elf King on the side. Who would have thought that this Elf King would not play his cards according to common sense? No, you are the Elf King now. The Elf King lowered his head. Lift the crown high. Lee Mumu was a little embarrassed. He really didn't want to take the blame. To be honest, with his current ability, what kind of unique profession can't he get? Dad. Father. Daddy. Turning around, I saw 10 beauties calling out to their daddy. It seems like this pot can't escape. If all the elves born in the future call him daddy. Whether he is the Elf King or not depends on this level of relationship. Lee Mumu gritted his teeth. A cruel heart. He took the crown. Ding, Elf King Kagome is passing on the only professional Elf King to you, do you accept it? Yes. Lee Mumu nodded in confirmation. Congratulations to the player for switching to the only professional Elf King. Congratulations to the player for reaching level plus 18,000. Level 18,000. Huge power filled the whole body. At this moment, Lee Mumu felt like he could press the steel plate with his eyelids. Click on the details of the Elf King. Elf King. Attribute modification. 4D plus 10000. Professional passive. Elf King. You are the king of the Elf clan. Your orders are above all else, and all elf units will obey your orders unconditionally. Son of the forest, you are the embodiment of the forest. You can use the power of the forest at will. You can perceive and communicate with the consciousness of plants. Son of the elements, you can command all naturally existing elements in nature at will. Inheritance, you can pass on all your levels to the next generation of elf kings without loss. So. To be honest, Li Mumu was quite disappointed with this only profession. Except that the initial attributes are really awesome. Others are passive. It doesn't seem to be that strong. In front of several of his enhanced ordinary professions. Totally not enough. However, the enhanced lifespan was originally planned for Freeze Man. Li Mumu planned to use it on the Elf King first. It would be nice to improve the basic attributes a little more. After all, this profession has 18,000 levels. Even if it is not strengthened now, each of the four-dimensional attributes provided can add more than 180 million. Kagome, please take them to change their clothes first. Obey my king. Kagome took Li Mumu's 10 daughters away with a look of infatuation on her face. Send them away. The pot of lust. Here, my master. Strengthen. Elf King. Lifespan 1 year. Lifespan minus 10 years. Lifespan 100 years. ... Lifespan minus 1 million years. Lord of Nature, 7th strengthening. Attribute modification, 4-dimensional plus 100 billion. Professional passive. Elf King, you are the king of the elf clan. Your orders are above all else, and all elf units will obey your orders unconditionally. Father of the forest is your incarnation. You can control plants at will. The plants you control will inherit your attributes. You can learn about plants. Where there are plants, there are your eyes. Father of elements, you can manipulate all elements in nature at will. Note, the elements here are the elements that make up all things, not the 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, earth, and they can all add your own attributes. Inheritance, you can pass on all your levels to the next generation of elf kings without loss. Note, strengthening effects cannot be inherited. Dizzy. What is 100 billion times 18,001? Li Mumu opened his properties panel. Very good. Numbers that are too long are folded directly. Li Mumu. Power, 1800 megabytes. Physique, 1800 trillion. Agility, 1800 megabytes. Spirit, 1800 trillion. The picture is so beautiful. He was a little afraid to look. And the 2 passives have also changed. Especially the elemental father. This thing, it looks unremarkable. But he said that you can manipulate all elements of nature at will. That means he is Li Mumu. You can turn any stone into gold at will. And the hardness of this piece of gold can also be linked to its own attributes. What's this? This is a carnival in the world of physics. Hand rub uranium-235. Are you afraid? You are not afraid of me. And this is a professional characteristic. He can bring it to the real world at will. Why is lifespan the currency now traded? Li Mumu felt regretful. Gained the ability to turn stone into gold. But there was no place to perform, which made him very painful. Why don't you go to Sakura and get some uranium-235? I always feel uncomfortable when I don't use my strength. King. Kagome's voice sounded. Li Mumu turned around and looked. The 10 newly born elves were already wearing the distinctive costumes of the elves. By the way, there is also the question of how to arrange the elves. King, I found a problem. Kagome said to Li Mumu with a serious face. Li Mumu expressed that he was not used to it. There is a feeling of wearing a yellow robe. Suddenly he was called king. For someone like him who has a little bit of social fear. It's somewhat embarrassing. What is the problem? Although he was uncomfortable with it, Li Mumu's outlook on life did not allow him to run away with a bucket. I just checked the 10 of them and found that their basic attributes are more than twice as high as those of the elves born in the past. Kagome looked worried. The newly born elves are more powerful, which is of course a good thing. But she was also worried that this was the reflection of the world tree. An elf born by squeezing out the last bit of his own energy. Oh, don't worry about this. It should be caused by my talent. Li Mumu opened his mouth to explain. But he didn't expect it either. The strengthening of the world tree will also strengthen the newly born elves. Just a pity. All elves born in the future will call him daddy. Who in the family understands? I, Mr. Lee, a handsome young man, unexpectedly became a father without being married. And the number of children will continue to grow. It's really just one person who created an entire tribe. I heard such an outrageous story last time. Or the origin story of Sakura. Really? Kagome looked at Lee Mumu with obsession. You are worthy of being the envoy of God. By the way, the production of this fountain of life is still too slow now. You should step back. Lee Mumu lined up his daughters. The pot of lust. Yes, I am the most. Lao Ji pinched his mouth. Then the strengthening begins. Lifespan 1000 years. Small water pipes become small sluices. Lifespan 10,000 years. A small sluice turns into a small waterfall. Lifespan 100,000 years. A small waterfall becomes a large waterfall. When Li Bai came, he had to say something like, flying down 3,000 feet. Huge water splashed down. A large amount of water mist is formed. For a time, several rainbows actually appeared. And on the side is the former elf king Kagome. I was so surprised that I couldn't speak. Lee Mumu's 10 daughters are still newborns and don't quite understand the meaning of this waterfall. But Kagome knows. This water output. Every second. They are equal to the output of more than 100 years ago. This means that the number of elves in the immemorial forest will explode in the coming years. Lee Mumu should be lucky that what he produced was elves. Instead of orcs. Elves are peace-loving, and they are actually home girls who like to live in the forest. Otherwise it won't take more than a few years. The masters of this eternal continent are no longer humans, but elves. Daddy, 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 XN. A new batch of elves was born. Not 10 this time, but thousands. The size of this fountain of life at this time should be close to that of a small lake. And Lee Mumu was shocked. Thousands of pictures of beautiful women taking a bath. Shocking. It's so shocking. Even Sakura's movie couldn't capture this scene. And each one has a standard 9-headed figure with supermodel body proportions. And then you still call you daddy. Who the hell can handle this? Even Lee Mumu's 1,800-pound body couldn't bear it at all. Lee Mumu, who had traveled through time and had been invincible many times, broke through the defense for the first time. Because these 9-headed elf girls are perfect no matter from any angle. They all call their daddy with clear eyes. Without any distractions. Of course Lee Mumu is not that beastly. But he truly treats them as his own daughters. But this will elevate his aesthetics infinitely. With such a group of daughters who are more exquisite than AI drawings, how can they be interested in other women in the future? Could it be that the reason why I, Lee Mumu, have been single all my life is because my daughter is so beautiful? You can continue to be in charge of the ancient forest from now on. The task of arranging these newly born elves will be left to you. Lee Mumu ordered Kagome. Kagome was stunned for a moment before reacting. So spectacular. Waterfalls, rainbows. A picture of thousands of people taking a bath. And she also secretly checked on these elves who were born. Even more powerful than the top 10. The basic attributes are directly equivalent to level 1000 attributes. Happiness comes too quickly. And all this was brought about by the king. Kagome looked at Lee Mumu with a flushed face, wondering if the king would dislike her if she sacrificed herself. As you command, my king. Lee Mumu watched his more than 1,000 daughters leave in an orderly manner. Some regret. His figure is so good. It's a pity that I am not a pervert. This kind of ethical shackles is quite tight on him. Taking out the cocoon of the 10,000-year-old ice silkworm, Lee Mumu jumped into the fountain of life holding the cocoon. Well, maybe it's more appropriate to call it Lake of Life now. Once in the water, the cocoon of this 10,000-year-old ice silkworm absorbs water like a sponge. There is even a small vortex formed here. If it weren't for the current output being calculated on a waterfall basis. The small spring before would have to be sucked dry in less than 2 seconds. Fortunately, I am not such a stingy person. The world tree was strengthened 6 times in one go. Otherwise, if the ice silkworm's cocoon absorption is interrupted, will it affect my job change? Just when Lee Mumu was still thinking wildly, the silk on the ice silkworm cocoon began to detach and wrap around Lee Mumu. Lee Mumu sensed that there was no danger. There was no resistance and he was allowed to operate. Take a few breaths. Lee Mumu was completely wrapped, forming a larger cocoon. Li Mumu, who was wrapped in it, felt a coolness pouring into his body. It's not the kind of ice soul hell that freezes the soul. It's like the comforting coolness of eating a bite of ice cream on a hot summer day. Congratulations to the player for successfully switching to freeze. Frozen Man. Attribute modifier, 4D plus 200. Professional passive. Loss of temperature. Target heat can be extracted, and the lowest temperature can reach -100 degrees. No more. That's it. Is this thing really better than the Fire Mist Warrior? Li Mumu was speechless when he looked at this profession. But Li Mumu didn't know that losing temperature was not just as simple as lowering body temperature. Forget it, it's all over. Strengthen and start walking. Lifespan 1 year. Freeze Man strengthened into Quick Freeze Man. Lifespan -10 years. Quick Freeze Man strengthened into Mr. Freeze Man. Lifespan 100 years. Freeze strengthened into Freeze Nova. Lifespan 1000 years. Freeze Nova is strengthened into a low temperature disaster. Lifespan 10,000 years. Low temperature disaster strengthened into Life Forbidden Zone. Lifespan 100,000 years. The restricted area of life has been strengthened into the code-named Absolute Zone. Not much more to live. It can only be strengthened to the 6th time. Li Mumu couldn't wait to open the professional attribute panel of codename Ju Zone. His codename, Dead Zone, strengthened 6 times. Career modifier, 4D plus 200000000. Professional passive. Absolute 0. You can freeze everything within the range of your mental perception at will, and your freeze can reach absolute 0 at will. Freeze everything, even the movement between atoms in your field will be frozen. Within absolute 0, movement, heat, thinking, everything will stop. Hey, it looks a little bit like that now. But to Li Mumu, it was just a look. After all, aren't all ice gods able to freeze time? Although at his absolute 0 temperature, he can freeze everything, leaving only himself active for about the same amount of time as the freeze. Well, it can barely be used. After all, everything is frozen, atoms cannot move, and heat cannot be transferred. The effect achieved is the same as banning. This time it was really like receiving an atomic bomb with his face. My hands are itchy. Li Mumu muttered. The current attribute correction of codename Wazoo, even with the addition of 200 million attributes, cannot make his main attributes fluctuate. I am considered the Elf King now, but I am not very good at experimenting in my own territory. Li Mumu looked at the lake of life. He resisted his desire to do something. Sajia needs to vent. Offline. In fact, if someone is tired of real life, it is not impossible to choose to live in the eternal world forever. But for Li Mumu, he still has nostalgia for the real world. Moreover, a group of soul professionals had just fought in his small broken house. I always have to go offline to deal with the aftermath. Wait for Li Mumu's gaze to change. Then he saw the original old and broken boy. It has now become an open-air Syrian style. Chu Go was slumped on the half-length sofa, playing with his mobile phone. You are back. It was the pheasant that spoke. Hey, why are you two? After all, we just met him not long ago. Even earning a lifespan of 100,000 years, Li Mumu still has an impression of these two people. We have been in contact before, so the country arranged for us to connect this time. Pheasant explained. What are you talking about? Speak first, don't take the iron job. Li Mumu first refused. Say the ugly words at the very beginning. It's okay to ask him to contribute, but if it's a mixed staff, let's forget it. If he could have obeyed, he would not have been lying flat in his previous life. It's because he doesn't want to look at anyone's face. Oh, don't worry, the country respects your choice, but this war destroyed your residence, so we have arranged a villa for you, and the two of us will take you there. Pheasant said nothing. There are actually quite a few people like Li Mumu. The state will not force it. After all, even if such a character is forced to be included, it will be difficult to manage. It would be better to just share what we have with each other with an equal attitude. Looking at the villa, there's no need for your two major professions to go out. Li Mumu is very straightforward. Don't tell me that he has changed jobs now. Even before changing jobs, when he was an ordinary person, he didn't bother to hide his secrets. I am sincere to you, if you are also sincere to me. Then we are friends. If you are hypocritical, then I will just be polite to you and there will be no next time. This country gives away villas. On the one hand, it is recognition of Li Mumu's current strength. On the other hand, there is no need to think about it. Of course it is strengthened. Haha, Master Li was joking. There's nothing else to do. It's just about strengthening. The base that the country needs to strengthen is very huge, so. The pheasant laughed twice. Adertisement. I'm so annoyed. Why did I assign this task to myself? And the dead dog. He had been pretending to be dead from the very beginning, but now that the real owner appeared, he was really dead without saying a word. I understand. I can give you a 50% discount on the handling fee for nationally enhanced equipment, but don't bring equipment with attributes below 100,000. I don't have that much time. It turned out to be a bargain. It was also within his psychological expectations. If you say 50% off, you get 50% off. Li, never break my promise. Thank you, Master. Later, people from within the country will come to communicate with you, Master, and I will also pass on your needs. Pheasant was very happy to hear that Li Mumu was so happy. I was instantly moved to tears. Even before he finished speaking, the great god understood what he meant. It was so touching. The pheasant, now declare unilaterally, Li Dasheng, you are my eternal god. By the way, there haven't been any countries that have been very active recently and need to be sorted out by the country. I'm a little itchy. Li Mumu asked. 1800 trillion four-dimensional properties. If you don't explode something, it's always boring. What do you think of little Sakura? I'll sink their island and dig a piece up from the seabed to expand the land area of our country. The more Li Mumu talked, the brighter his eyes became. The more I feel that the plan I mentioned is feasible. Hey, don't, God, you can't do it. Listen to what you are saying. To sink an island country. Let's not talk about whether the strength is enough. Even if it can really be done. What a shock it will cause internationally at that time. Why not? Li Mumu didn't think about it that much. He feels that he can really do this easily now. The little cherry blossoms in this world are also emitting nuclear contaminated water. Although now with his passive nature as the Lord of Nature, he can easily erase the impact caused. But he felt that it would be simpler to deal with it directly at the source. Master, don't worry. Our country has quietly arranged for the only professional broom star to pass by, which is enough for them to drink. But in the past few years, with the advent of the eternal world, some irreversible changes have been taking place on Blue Star. Therefore, the current policy of the whole world is to maximize external relations. It is okay to use small means to disgust others, but doing it really is not conducive to the unity of the people of the world. Pheasant explained. Change. What change? Li Mumu's current strength and the passivity of the Lord of Nature. Tell him nothing has changed. It feels almost like the eternal world. Almost. Li Mumu's eyes narrowed. Blue Star is assimilating to the eternal world. Li Mumu expressed his guess. More than that, according to the information given by the Monitoring Bureau, it's not just the eternal world. Pheasant hesitated. Still no intention of hiding it. These things can be vaguely felt by the sole professional. Not only. What else? Li Mumu was a little excited. It seems that this world is more interesting than he expected. Hey, it's time to play. It is expected that a strange world is coming. Quote. A strange world has descended on the current Blue Star. The current Blue Star is not only superhuman per capita. Captain America can still do it per capita. Who will be weird then? Not to mention, specifically for the weird profession, Taoist priests. He is just an ordinary profession. Li Mumu suddenly wanted to laugh. I don't know if there will be any psychological shadow after the arrival of the strange world. Ding, the weird live broadcast is started, and players are now drawn. Chapter 71. Now 100 people from all over the world will be selected to participate in the game and it will be broadcast live worldwide. You shouldn't call it a pheasant, I think you should call it a crow. Li Mumu listened to the sound in his ear and looked at the pheasant. Hee. The pheasant smiled on his face and felt MMP in his heart. If you weren't strong enough and your talent was important enough, let's see if my fist, which is as big as a sandbag, could hit your 38-yard face. What's the significance of this strange arrival? Lee Mumu was still quite curious. If this were an ordinary blue star world, everyone would be scared to death. But, please, it's been 3 years since immortality came. Except for minors under the age of 18. Anyone who joins the game, even if they are new, is still much better than ordinary people. Did you choose the wrong parallel space for this weird live broadcast? Maybe he should go to the world before he traveled through time. Well, it's nothing. It just absorbs human fear and then completes the strange arrival. Pheasant said nonchalantly. In fact, this weird live broadcast is coming. For today's humans, it's not even as harmful as a psycho whose sole occupation is going berserk. For example, the person in front of me is Mr. Lee who wants to sink an island country. Oh, that's it, then I'll go and have some fun too. Lee Mumu could feel a new force emerging in the world. It seems that he is constantly exploring something. Lee Mumu pulled one of them to himself. Don't tell me that Father of Elements passive is surprisingly useful. Ah. Pheasant still doesn't understand what Lee Mumu means. Then he saw Lee Mumu disappear from sight. Quote. What should we do? The villa hasn't been sent out yet. Why didn't you speak just now? Ahem, aren't I shy when I see an idol? Oh, virgin dog. It's a rotten dog. You poisonous girl. The pheasant stared at the cud dog with a look that would kill you. The cud dog gave in immediately. And at this moment, weird live game space. Lee Mumu opened his eyes. Very good, you are in this batch. A man wearing an eye patch and a black trench coat immediately woke up when he saw Lee Mumu entering this strange space. I still sigh in my heart, the newcomers nowadays are so perverted. I just blurted out the lines I planned to scare the newcomers. But before he finished speaking, he saw 4 other newcomers who came in together and opened their eyes at the same time. Master Lee. Master. Equipment, strong. Thighs, hug. The 4 fresh people found out that they were selected by the weird live broadcast, and they didn't have much emotional fluctuations. Instead, they saw Dashan Lee, which made several people excited. Who in China today doesn't know about Master Lee? Let's not talk about his outrageous talent. Just saying that the country directly killed the only professional for him is surprising enough. In the immortal game, except for the only professional, there is a level cap. So for some people who have reached the level limit, every day is very leisurely. Everyone strives to be the first in internet surfing. Great God, are you thirsty? I have Tianshan spring water here to quench your thirst. Master, don't drink that Tianshan spring water. How can it be worthy of your status? This is the holy water. I went to the west to catch the autumn wind and try some western stuff. Eye patch man. As the leader of this game. Somewhat messy. What did I see? A new group of people. Forget it if everyone has space equipment. Look, what they took out. There was so much energy on it that the man with the eye patch felt that if he took one sip, he would be overwhelmed by the power contained in it. Is he a newcomer? The man with the eye patch looked at himself. He looked more like a newcomer. Okay. No, I am not a newcomer, I am more like someone from the slums. Everyone, the game is about to begin. Should we prepare first? The man with the eye patch said tremblingly. He had thrown out his ridiculous idea of killing any newbie who disobeyed him first to frighten them. As the man with the eye patch opened his mouth, everyone noticed him. You're not from our world. Everyone asked questions. It's not because the man with the eye patch doesn't know Dashan Lee. But the man's outfit with the eye patch does not cover his wrists. At this time, there was nothing on his wrist. Weird Live is a platform with multiple parallel worlds, but almost all of them are Blue Star's parallel worlds. The man with the eye patch told him honestly. Veterans in the world of Weird Live broadcasts all know this. But they all have one thing in common. There are almost no differences between all parallel worlds, and they are all technological worlds without weirdness. As for the big guys in front of me, the man with the eye patch said that he was also very broken. Originally I just wanted to come to the newbie dungeon and make some pocket money. Who knew we would encounter such a lineup? If only the 5 people knew what he was thinking. I will tell him gently. How come their Blue Star is not a technological world without weird things? At least on the surface. You just said you were going to prepare. What are you preparing for? Lee Mumu spoke. Well, at least introduce each other first so that we can collaborate later. The man with the eye patch said submissively. This great god Li is so sought after by those 4 people. Thinking with your toes, your identity is not simple. Whatever any one of these 4 people takes out can cause chaos in his world. He couldn't afford to offend these 4 people, let alone Master Li who was licked by these 4 people. What he said makes sense. You 4 can introduce me. Li Mumu nodded, although he came in because he thought it was fun. But at least abide by the rules of the game. Hi, Master, leave it all to me later. I am now at level 500, a senior professional celestial master, holy monk, and exorcist warrior. This is what I do for a living. My name is Wang Jiangguo, Master, you can call me Xiao, just be fat. One of the plump men introduced himself. With a smile on his face and his eyes narrowed, he looked like a Maitreya Buddha. Which round will I get you, great god? I am also level 500. Although the high-level profession has nothing to do with catching ghosts, my ordinary profession has a Taoist priest profession. It is still easy to kill a few little ghosts. My name is Lin Yu, great god, you call me just Xiao Yu. The second man who introduced himself was a tall man with a muscular body. It reminded Li Mumu of a certain Night King. You're not from the muscle modification department, are you? Master, do you know our department? Xiao Yu looked excited, but she didn't expect that she could rely on this to build relationships. Well, that's right. The King of Knights and I have a pretty good relationship. Li Mumu felt guilty and said that it was mainly the Night King who took the blame for him. Master, my name is Wu Ya. Although I am only level 200, my common professions include Taoist priest, gold-touching captain, and corpse exorcist. I can handle these situations without any problem. A handsome-looking man looked a little green when he touched his head. Master, I am also level 300, a high-level professional devil muscle man, and both Xiao Yu and I are from the muscle modification department. You can just call me Xiaogang. Then everyone stared at the man with the eye patch. Wait for him to introduce himself. What are they talking about? It seems like every word can be understood clearly. But why can't I understand them all together? The big guys are looking at me. What should I do? I feel like I'm suffocating. Everyone. Big brothers, my name is Li Jun, and I am your guide for this newbie copy. Li Jun wiped the sweat from his forehead. Although I don't understand what the big guys are talking about, it's pretty cool anyway. Guide. This weird live broadcast is quite friendly to newcomers. Little Fatty said. Friendly. Boss, do you want to hear what you have to say? In the weird live broadcast, the mortality rate of novices is 90%. Do you know what copy we are in this time? After all, Li Mumu has read countless articles. I think this setting is considered normal. I guess this Li Jun is the kind of old man who has experienced several live broadcasts. Master, you won't know until this dungeon is opened. As the guide, I won't receive the news in advance. Li Jun said respectfully, although this person did not introduce himself. But others call him a great god. If you call yourself that, there should be no problem. Master, since we haven't started yet, why not? Xiao Yu is one of the only 2 players with full level here. At this time, he rubbed his hands slightly obscenely and looked at Li Mumu expectantly. No problem. Don't take out equipment with an attribute bonus of less than 10,000. It's not cost effective. I'm thinking about you. Li Mumu immediately understood. As for why you think about others, forget it. It's purely because I'm used to making a lot of money. Those bits and pieces are just despising. Following Li Mumu's words, Xiaogang and Wu Ya were obviously a little disappointed. However, they only dared to be disappointed and did not dare to show any dissatisfaction. After all, even if they have suitable weapons at their current level, they will replace them after reaching full level. Li Mumu was thinking about them, so it would be right to use it on them. As for Xiaopeng and Xiao Yu, even though he is a max-level player, but there isn't much inventory. They could only ask Li Mumu to strengthen their weapons. As for other parts, come on, young Master Yi Fengye from a well-known family can only spend hundreds of thousands of years of life at a time. The 2 of them can live for 10,000 years, so they are considered diligent and thrifty. Xiaopeng's weapon is a Sanqing bell. After being strengthened by Li Mumu, it evolved into the soul-calming bell. In addition to attribute enhancement, it also has a soul-soothing feature. The effect is equivalent to silence, and 50% of the effect is triggered when attacking. The little fat man almost fainted with excitement. He immediately said that Li Mumu would be his biological father from now on. But because Li Mumu has taken in a lot of daughters recently, declined Xiaopong's proposal. As for Xiao Yu, this kid looks tall and powerful. I originally thought he was a glove player like myself. Unexpectedly, his weapon is actually an embroidery needle. Well, that's what Sister Dongfang does. Fight with embroidery needles and thread. His weapon is called Dragon Mark Needle. After being strengthened by Li Mumu, evolves into Dragon Scale Needle. The speed of new special effects is increased by 500%. Happy to have a son again. Li Jun on the side was already paralyzed. What are they doing? Can't read. What did they bring out? It's amazing. Just the momentum he released almost made him breathless. The preparation time is over and the live broadcast starts. This novice copy, the Ghost Story Hospital is open. It's over, how could I meet this copy? After Li Jun heard the name of the copy, he immediately held his head and cried. In an instant, Li Mumu and others were confused. What are you doing? Is this copy scary? Li Mumu was speechless. What's all the fuss about? Not to mention whether Xiaopong and the others can solve it. Isn't that why I still have myself? What a coward. What do you know? This is a copy of Gatan Hospital with a 99.99% death rate for newbies. Li Jun shouted. Don't blame him for being emotional. After all, he was before entering the weird live broadcast. I also watched the live broadcast several times. No one came out of this copy alive. This is still a case of having a veteran guide. Hey, boy, what are you talking about? Be respectful to our great God. That's right. I heard Li Jun yelling at Li Mumu. Xiaopong and Xiao Yu quit immediately. What is your attitude? Yeah, sorry. Li Jun suddenly realized that he was not in an ordinary novice team. These people are all big guys, maybe I won't have to die. Copy transfer starts. Oh, weird live broadcast, so advanced. I quietly discovered something. Master Li was actually selected, ha ha ha. Really, 3 seconds of silence for those weird people, ha 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 ha. Why wasn't it selected? Then I can lick Master Li. That's what you said. It's true. It hurts to lose 100 million, woo woo woo, why didn't you choose me? People upstairs, why are you so weird? This is a copy of Gatan Hospital with a mortality rate of 99.99%. You still want to be selected, are you okay? Hey, I hope they can survive. The mortality rate is 99.99%. How do you know? Why didn't I receive any news? Does this weird live broadcast have mortality statistics? It should be a new parallel world, understand, this is how everyone comes here. What the hell, parallel world? Are you not from our world? Are there any 20th games in your world? The blocking word suddenly appears. What are you talking about? It's really a parallel world, so can your lifespan be traded? What, your lifespan can be traded? Isn't the parallel world brought in by this weird live broadcast only the world of technology? Who says we are not a technological world anymore? Yeah, who said lifespan can't be traded in the technological world? Dog head. Then your world must be very technologically advanced. Unfortunately, no matter how advanced the technology is, it is useless in this weird live broadcast. Yeah, but it's useless if you can't bring it in. But your world culture is open to the public. Is that guy with the bare head a Furkong? Aren't you surprised that people in this new world are all laughing and not nervous at all? What's the point? When our world was just selected by the weird live broadcast, the richest man in the world was selected. I wanted to be selected and lick it, but as soon as I went out, the richest man's head was eaten. Ha ha ha, don't worry, there are still a few other people. Master Li is a person who can kill even his only profession in an instant. He won't be afraid of just a few brats. What are people in this new world talking about, and what is their only profession? People in the live broadcast room want more detailed science about the immortality game. However, I found that the relevant content sent out was blocked again. As for Li Mumu, everyone has been transported to a dilapidated hospital. It was dark outside. The hospital was brightly lit. Are you the new student nurses? Several people are in an office. There was a voice that made one's hair stand on end, like fingernails scraping against a blackboard. The boss's chair behind the desk slowly turned around. Everyone gasped in unison. Lee Jun, it's so scary and weird. I must keep a low profile and keep a low profile. Everyone in the immortal game world, hiss. With such strength, why do you have such a pretentious aura? Xiaopong rushed up and slapped Wei Wei away. Then Xiao Yu stepped forward very discerningly and wiped the boss's chair clean. He immediately took out a piece of white cloth and put it on it. Master, please sit down. Although Li Mumu himself is not such a high-profile person. But since others have arranged it this way, he is also very willing to have fun with the people. Li Mumu sat down calmly and crossed his legs. Wu Ya took out a cigar made of high-quality Forget the 100 grass and handed it to Li Mumu. Xiaogang pinched his fingers. A wisp of true samadhi fire rose from his fingertips, and he lit the cigar for Li Mumu. Quote question mark question mark question mark question mark quote. This is so weird. What's going on with the people in this new world? The layout is too small. Master Li, don't smoke cigars made of Forget Soul grass. That stuff is weak. Come and try my cigar made of dragon blood grass. Not only is it strong, but it also strengthens the kidneys. Wait a minute, the soul-forgetting grass you are talking about is the one that heals soul injuries. The one that can channel psychic energy after being lit. Yeah, it's not very obvious, but it's not a high-end product either. It's not high-end goods. What a waste of natural resources. You just paid attention to the cigar. You didn't notice that the person lit the fire. He didn't use a lighter. And the fire didn't look simple. You didn't notice the cloth we brought for cushioning, but it's called fire rat velvet, which is said to be invulnerable to water and fire. What are the backgrounds of these people? It's just a few regular items that players in the eternal world took out. It is already about to shock the players in other worlds beyond measure. And at this moment, in order to adapt to the environment, Li Mumu, taking advantage of the master of nature's passivity, he made some sunglasses. Bare head, sunglasses, cigar. Sitting on the boss's chair with a boss attitude. But Xiaopong and Xiao Yu stepped on Wei. What the hell, why are you talking to our great god Li? Do you want your life? You are a little earthbound spirit. Believe it or not, I will strangle you to death in minutes. The little fat boy said with a ferocious expression. That's right. Xiao Yu repeated the reading. Hey, little fat little you, what are you doing? Everyone is here to relax. Just treat it like a script and kill them. Why are you so mean to NPCs? Li Mumu spoke. He didn't take this weird live broadcast to heart at all. Unless he picks someone under 18, or someone who just celebrated his birthday. Otherwise, in this world where the immortal game comes. What a weird world this is. Isn't it just like script killing, horror chamber or something like that? Even a timid girl can only scream and then punch Wei to death. Hey, master, you are right. The little fat guy touched his head and laughed a few times. Then he lifted up Wei from the ground. At this time, Wei Wei already looked like he was dying. Xiaopong took a look and wondered how this would work. But it can't affect the great game experience. He immediately took out a Requiem talisman and photographed it on Wei. The strange state has improved visibly to the naked eye. You can even see a bit of blood on this grimace. Hey, Li Jun, what should I do now that I'm in the game? Li Mumu looked at their leader Li Jun this time. At this time, Li Jun was still watching Xiaopong's series of operations in stunned silence. A slap that almost frightened him to the point of peeing, almost knocking him out of his wits. Then a talisman was pulled back again. Moreover, this strange momentum increased a bit in his perception. Great. Master, usually after entering a dungeon, there will be weird arrangements for work. What we players have to do is to save our lives on the premise of completing the work, but weird people will use various methods to embarrass us, so that we can't do our jobs properly so they have a reason to eat us. Li Jun stated the basic rules in one breath as much as possible. Although there are still many details. But that's basically it. Oh, that's it. Old Gui over there, do you hear me? Hurry up and arrange the work. This, I don't dare. Weird's whole body was shaking like a sieve. Didn't we agree that our hospital will be a new copy? Weird live broadcast, why don't you open your dog eyes and see, this newbie? After all, I have been an earthbound spirit for over 100 years, right? At least it's at the level of a demon. What kind of newbie can you slap an evil ghost to almost death? Kryptonian. After hearing what the old ghost said, Xiaopong slapped him on the back of the head with dissatisfaction. Whatever the great god tells you to do, just do it, no matter what nonsense. Hey, fatty, we are here to play script killing, so we must abide by some rules of the game. Hey, the great god is right, Lao Gui, what is your identity here, and what do we call you? I am the dean here. You are at most a little devil, but with this strength you can become the dean. Xiaopong's face was full of distrust. Evil spirits are in the game of immortality. It's just a monster that's a little stronger than goblins. Is that all? The little old man dare not speak. Sirs, please take this as a warning. Okay, little fat guy, don't embarrass the old man. Dean, hurry up and arrange work for us. Li Mumu looked at the almost finished cigar in his hand. Couldn't help but urge. You know, he was just offline to have a meal. Accidentally, the urge to explore arose. I couldn't help but go to this weird live broadcast to play. Although this world can communicate with game backpacks and wearable equipment. But at first glance, it doesn't look like a gourmet world. To experience it a little bit, you have to go eat. Did you hear what the great god said? Hurry up and arrange our identities for us. Xiaopong listened to Li Mumu's speech with a smile, then turned around and said to the dean with murderous intent. 6 of them are the new signature nurses of our parent correctional hospital. Each of them needs to take care of 2 wards, for a total of 3 days. The dean who had just been slapped again by Fatty. It's a bit empty at this time. Parent correctional hospital. Li Mumu was curious. What kind of trick is this? I've never heard of it, teacher. Hearing Li Mumu's inquiry, the dean seemed a little proud. This hospital is the result of my painstaking efforts. There are so many people in the world who quit internet addiction and don't take correction training courses. Although this will make those parents relaxed, many children die full of resentment. We hear doctors are all children who have attended training classes, so they are so resentful. And the patients are the parents who have sent their children to training classes. Having said this, the dean's pale face couldn't help but turn a little rosy. What kind of positive energy hospital is this? You actually said it is a ghost hospital. I, Li Mumu, disagree. This kind of hospital should be promoted. In the live broadcast room. How does this barehead talk? And the way he sits makes it look like he is not a serious child. Do you know how difficult it is for us to be parents now? That's right, if those schools that have banned the internet are closed, how will you take care of the children? Can you take care of them? People nowadays have never been parents, and they really don't understand the difficulties of being a parent at all. That's right, let me tell you, he deserves to be selected by the weird live broadcast. His outlook is so evil, he should die soon. What do you mean by how to manage children? What kind of family educates what kind of children? Some people are not responsible for their own children and expect others to copy them. It makes me laugh to death. You're laughing so hard. Even if you die, we, Master Li, won't be able to die. You don't know anything about Pava. I have been to this kind of college. To be honest, I want to apply for this hospital now. Aren't you curious, why did Master Li bring their equipment with them? Aren't you allowed to bring equipment with you in the real world? How can we, as parents, harm our children? We are all doing it for the good of our children. Yes, in order to satisfy your twisted desire for control, you say it's good for your children every day. After a few words, the live broadcast room was noisy again. It's a pity that Li Mumu and the others couldn't see the barrage. Otherwise, Li Mumu would definitely say it. If you can't take care of it, don't take care of it. Turn over the table. Stop it all. Children are human beings too, not your cats and dogs. Let your children compare their scores with other people's children every day. Why don't you compare yourself to other parents? But it's more important at this time. Or play script to kill. No, complete the task of the weird live broadcast copy. Looking at it this way, your hospital is quite interesting. Let's divide the tasks. Li Mumu spoke to the weird dean. The weird dean looked at Xiaopong with some fear. Xiaopong slapped him in the face, almost knocking the old dean out of his wits. Whatever the great God tells you to do, you do it. Watch what I do. Yes, there are 6 wards here. Boss, do you want to choose them yourself, or should I share them? The weird old dean tremblingly took out a form. Little fatty, you should be nice to my old director. You have done a lot of good by opening such a hospital. Be kind to others. Lee Mumu took the form and checked the information of these 6 wards. Master, what you said makes sense. The little fat man said flatteringly. Then he turned and looked at the old dean kindly. You're lucky. If you eat this soul-nurturing pill, it can nourish your soul. It can probably increase your strength to the red level, and it won't increase your evil aura. Xiaopong threw out a pill. The weird old dean took the elixir. My mind is still buzzing. Promoted to red level. Are you dreaming? But the energy emanating from this elixir cannot be faked. Then he threw the elixir into his mouth. In an instant, the aura of the strange old dean jumped 2 levels, reaching the level of a red-clothed fierce ghost. The weird old dean still couldn't believe it at this time. Under normal circumstances, I don't know how long it will take to reach this level of strength. He actually had it in just 2 breaths. Are you dreaming? Today was originally an ordinary day. Host several humans and torture them to death. But I didn't expect that among the 6 people who came in, the aura from one of them, the fat man, was even scarier than the ghost king in their area. Then he slapped himself away. Then, with a few words from another young man, he threw himself a pill. Are you already at the red level? And now he feels that he is more lucid than ever before, with a ghostly aura emanating from his body, and even a sense of fairy aura. They are all their own nobles. Gotta say hello. Sir, I suggest you choose Ward 404. Although the weird old dean is a ghost, he is not a fool. Of course, he can see that Lee Mumu is the boss among this group of people. If you want to lick it, it must be the one that licks the most. Oh, what do you say? Lee Mumu had just received the ward information and was checking it one by one. Hearing what the old dean said, he said with great interest. There are 3 patients in Ward 404. Their strength is relatively low and they are not troublesome. Sir, what do you think? The old dean said flatteringly. Low strength. Who are you looking down on? I just like those with high strength and trouble. Who is the strongest and most troublesome? Make it harder for me. And the simplest one is for Li Jun. Do you have any objections? Lee Mumu also kindly arranged for Li Jun. Li Jun was instantly moved to tears. Obviously I am here to bring in new people. I didn't expect to be taken over by a new guy. He never expected that in this weird live broadcast, he could experience true love in the world. Hi, what problem can we have? Come on. Others who don't have attack means should come to me first to get the 2 kilograms of talismans. Xiaopong listened to Lee Mumu's arrangement. He immediately understood and took out all the talismans he used for practice. Anyway, these talismans could deal with weird things, for him. You can destroy it with just one hand, so why not do it as a favor to a great god? Studio. Listen, are you telling me that talismans are calculated by the pound? Bragging, who knows whether it will work or not? Why do people in this new world look so unreliable? Bragging. Didn't you see earlier that this fat man almost slapped the most terrifying director of the ghost hospital to death? I just came in. Is there still this part? There seems to be something wrong with the people in the new world. Isn't it obvious? Who in a normal family can sit in the position of dean? HMPH, no matter if he is normal or not, just tell him that this hospital is a positive energy hospital. I just hope he dies soon. Huo, you will be disappointed upstairs. Li Jun went to the simplest 404. At the same time, he brought 2 kilograms of the 2 kilograms of talismans given to him by the little fat man. Without saying a word, this guy put it all over his body, even his underwear. It can be said that he was extremely careful, and even his whole body was faintly glowing with golden light. Lee Mumu picked 408, which the dean said was the most dangerous. The rest of the people were randomly assigned. According to the dean, there are 3 patients in this 408. They are Li Guifang, who sent her son to the Dengeki Academy. Wang Shuimei sent her daughter to Wenjiang Academy. There is also Zhang Shalwa, who sent her 25-year-old son to a steel needle training camp. The 3 of them are extremely dangerous weirdos in their hospital. Sometimes even doctors can't suppress them. In the past, nurses who came in would only say a few words incorrectly. They will be torn into pieces. The old dean had repeatedly warned Li Mumu to be careful. Li Mumu happily ran toward 408. He has long wanted to confront these uncivilized parents. When I think about it, my wish will come true soon. Li Mumu only wanted to say one word. Cool. Dong dong dong. Li Mumu knocked on the door politely. Come in. A calm male voice came out. For a moment, Li Mumu really thought he was in a regular hospital. Squeak. Slowly open the door. The situation inside the house is no different from a regular hospital. 3 beds and 1 toilet. The beds are then separated by a curtain. At this time, a strange man in a white coat was patrolling. Seeing the mottled blood stains on his white coat, I felt a little bit like a ghost hospital. Are you the new nurse? The white coat gave Li Mumu a strange look. Yes, doctor. Li Mumu smiled brightly. He had to join in the drama. This is the list of medications for the 3 of them. Remember to give them their medication on time, otherwise I will eat you. The white coat handed Li Mumu a list and threatened at the same time. Li Mumu didn't care about him and looked at the steel needles stuck in his fingers and the unnatural bending of his legs and feet. I want to know how miserable it was during my lifetime. Oh, poor man. Okay, doctor, just leave it to me, I guarantee your satisfaction. The doctor nodded with strange satisfaction. Then he closed the door and left. When the doctor was there were 3 patients shaking like a sieve on the hospital bed. He stopped shaking for a moment, and instead stared at Li Mumu with a ferocious expression. Tisk, tisk, it belonged to you 2 before, so this time it has to be left to me. A man with a square face smiled strangely. Li Mumu glanced at him. The patient's gown contains the patient's identity information. Li Guifang, I will focus on taking care of you later. Guifang, aren't we good sisters? If you say that, you are out of touch. Isn't this a matter of everyone's own abilities? Well, Wang Shuimei sent her daughter to Wenjiang Academy, which caused her daughter to be torn apart by her genitals and had to live with a urine bag for the rest of her life. I will think of a way to consecrate her lower part later. You 2 old fools, if you want me to tell you to divide it into 3 equal parts, it's fair and just. Yo, Zhang Shalwa, my son is 25 years old. Because he opened an online store to make money, he did not go out to work. He felt that his son played on the computer at home every day and was not doing his job properly, so he sent him to a training camp. After returning home, he did not dare to disobey his parents at all. How to deal with this? How about electrotherapy? Li Mumu threw away the list the doctor gave him. Then he clapped his hands to interrupt the weird argument among the 3. Okay, sisters, don't fight, everyone has a share. Li Mumu spoke, attracting their attention. I think the doctor's treatment plan is too conservative. How about we try a new treatment plan today? Li Mumu said with a pleasant look, like a sunny big brother next door. Human, don't think that if you please us, we will let you go. Li Guifang showed her mouth full of fangs, and Li Mumu could clearly see there were granulations in the gaps between her teeth. I don't know which unlucky guy it belongs to. Won't you let me go? Li Mumu looked at Li Guifang. I heard that your son was fined for 2 months after he returned home. But when he heard you said you wanted to send him in, he jumped off the building and committed suicide. Li Mumu's current memory is as good as his memory. It is simply a walking camera, and it can be played back at any time without any problem. The situation of these 3 people was clear after just a quick glance. But when Li Guifang heard this, she felt as if she had been touched. The human form that could still be maintained was instantly festered. Yelling like crazy. What do you know? What do you know? I'm all for his good. I'm all for his good. Why is he so ignorant? It's you, yes, you are the one who brought up my son. I want to eat it about you. The corpse version of Li Guifang rushed towards Li Mumu. Tisk. Li Mumu activated his telepathy, and the Lord of Nature passively activated it, causing Li Mumu's telepathy force field to be covered with an energy similar to these weird ones. Although he didn't know what it was, Li Mumu knew that he could control it. Then he carefully controlled the energy and gently stroked Li Guifang's cheek. Boom! Tomato explosion. Li Guifang's head exploded instantly. I'm sorry, it's my first time to hold back my strength, I'm a little out of control. Li Mumu quickly apologized. Then he immediately used strange energy to enter Li Guifang's body and help him repair it. As for Wang Shuimei and Zhang Shalwa, they were also frightened by what Li Mumu did. Let's try it again. Is it okay to use new treatments on you now? Li Mumu looked at the three trembling weirdos with kind eyes. The three weirdos nodded immediately. Before, the doctor just used what happened to your children and used it on you again. I felt that this was not enough, so I used the latest version of the treatment. I hope you like it. Li Mumu read the doctor's list. It's nothing more than repaying the other person's own way. Whatever their children have experienced, will happen to them again. This is for ordinary people. It is indeed a life or death mission. But for people in the eternal game world, especially Li Mumu. It's so simple, teacher. And it's not satisfying at all. There is no way they can experience the despair their children experience. What's more, these three are now weird, and ordinary methods cannot make them feel pain at all. On the contrary, it might. So cool. So something must be done harshly. Aren't you weird and not afraid of death? Then let me give you a little hope first. Li Mumu shook his head in vain. 3 human bodies were composed of his void. He is now passive and can control all elements at will. This is just a human body. Just pick it up at your fingertips. It's just that the soul is something that I haven't figured out yet, and it's a bit out of line. Hey, you three, get in there by yourselves, or should I tuck you in? Anyway, he doesn't need to make a soul now, he can just stuff the current one into it. The 3 weird eyes widened when they saw the 3 living bodies. The live broadcast room was even more explosive. Is this a god? Can he create a person at random? TCH, what's all the fuss about? Don't talk about Master Li. Just bring in an alchemist and give him 200 level pork, and he can refine a human body for you. I'm just a country boy, I haven't seen the world, but Master Li is really cool with his void skills. Lick it, Master, hee hee. Is the new world so terrifying? Such a magical thing is actually a trivial matter. Hey, boss of the new world, I wonder if I can learn from this human body training. I just like to pinch my face. You're so calm upstairs. What you train in this way can only be considered a body at most, without a soul or a mind. Hey, it's okay, just having a body is enough. The 3 aunts saw fresh bodies without souls. Instantly excited. God knows how desperate they are for life. Li Mumu just finished speaking. He slipped in with a squeak. Li Mumu gave a lifeless smile and took out the soul-seeking talisman he asked for from Xiaopanger. Point troops and generals one at a time. This ensures that the 3 of them will not abandon their bodies because they cannot bear the pain. Hey, now that you have chosen your body, let's start the treatment. Li Mumu laughed from the bottom of his heart. It's in my hands. First of all, Li Guifang, Aunt Li, I read the medical records and it said that your son went online to work as a substitute doctor to make money to support the family. Why do you send a child who is so considerate to his parents to be rehabilitated? Li Mumu looked at Li Guifang. I can't believe it. Other parents because their children are disobedient and rebellious. If you send it, he can still find the reason. Isn't your son considerate of you? You don't like this either. What do you know? Online games are D-grade. The money he makes from this is dirty. Even if I starve to death, I won't use this money. Li Guifang reacted violently when she heard Li Mumu's words. It's as if online games are really an electronic sea. Huh, online games are D-grade. What kind of ancient ideas do you have? I'll give you a shot of acupuncture first. What Li Mumu said is acupuncture. It is not acupuncture in conventional Chinese medicine. But the acupuncture in the reform camp where Li Guifang's son went was used to punish disobedient students. The specific method is to use a 10 centimeters long acupuncture needle, straighten the finger, and insert it along the finger. Not only is there no visible injury on the outside, it also prevents the fingers from being bent, and of course the fingers are connected to the heart. It will be accompanied by severe pain. Only after the students perform well. Only then will it be taken out. Li Mumu was not polite either. The enhanced version means the enhanced version. 20 centimeters steel needle. Puff. Insert it from Li Guifang's middle finger and run through the entire palm. Ah! Li Guifang screamed violently. Hey, Hey, don't bark, otherwise we will need more acupuncture. Well, this is also the rule of the reform camp where his son is. No, it's impossible. They said they wouldn't beat my son. Li Guifang gasped with cold sweat on her face. After turning into something weird, the pain is almost gone. They are weirdly greedy for the feeling of being alive. These are the 5 senses that only living people can possess. Therefore, the previous treatment given by doctors was painful. But it is not as good as 1,000th or 1/10,000th at this time. Studio. What about the live broadcast? The teachers in the college are very good. How could they treat children like this? I reported it. Doesn't this affect the physical and mental health of my children? If my children follow this example, they will also get injections in the future. What if you stab someone else? Here is a TV series recommended, Ring the Pig. Can a mentally retarded parent still show up here? You are just a Guangdian drama. If you report it, it will be removed. This is a weird live broadcast. Impossible. Your son should have told you what happened to him, right? Do you trust outsiders but not your own son? Li Mumu asked back. In fact, he knew what Li Guifang's answer was probably like. But sometimes, I just like to fight against the good guys. As long as you don't put the lever spirit at the same biological level as yourself. When you tease her, you won't be angry, but will feel very happy. He is just an internet addict. How can I not know what he is thinking? Li Guifang said harshly. Li Mumu didn't think much about it. 2 sessions of acupuncture. Studio. 666, this is the first time I've seen someone turn a weird live broadcast into a criminal court. This wave I am willing to call Master Li Weirdbao Qingtian. Do you people have any sympathy? She just wants her son to be better. The style of painting in the live broadcast room is still two-sided. But these people who pitied Li Guifang never thought about it. Isn't Li Guifang's son pitiful and innocent? Moreover, her son plays games online just to supplement the family income. But it shows here that your son had his injuries checked after he came out. Why don't you believe it? Li Mumu pressed forward step by step. He wanted to see what was going on in the minds of some parents today. It's just an appraisal report. The reform camp said it was a forgery. Although Li Guifang is in pain now, it is difficult to speak. But I still don't think it was a wrong decision to send my child for rehabilitation. So you think he lied? Are you going to send him back? My son used to be so good, but it's all because of online games. Now he lies to his parents just to play games. Why can't he be reformed? It's all because of online games. Li Guifang's face was full of resentment, and the strange energy in her body surged. This fresh body is almost mutated. Li Mumu quickly stabilized his body to prevent it from collapsing. Well, after that he committed suicide by jumping off a building. Do you think you were right? Li Mumu was speechless. It's fun to play against the gangster. But it seems that it is not easy to change their minds. I'm right. I'm doing it all for his own good. Why doesn't he understand my painstaking efforts? I'm just doing it for his own good. It's all the fault of online games. The country, why not ban online games? This is an electronic sea, it will only corrode children's minds, it should be shut down. Tisk. Li Mumu clicked his tongue in displeasure. After all, it's everyone else's fault. Really, under the guise of doing good for the children, I really dare to do anything. Li Mumu arranged for the acupuncture package for Li Guifang's other fingers. Then gouge out both eyes. Fasten it to the wall so that she can only sense and do nothing else. This is actually a common method used by many reform academies. Cover your eyes and bind your whole body. Then it develops, which can be as short as 1 day or as long as 3 days. It's so scary. Li Mumu couldn't imagine it. The most terrifying punishment in JY is to be locked in a small dark room. At least meals will be delivered. And although the inside of the small dark room is narrow, it is still possible to move. This kind of punishment of being tied up and blindfolded is 10,000 times more terrifying than a dark room. And it's the parents who spend the money and let the children bear the burden. This is even scarier. Okay. Aunt Li did this first. Stand for a day first and continue with the next course of treatment tomorrow. Li Mumu looked at Wang Shuimei and Zhang Shalwa, who were like quails in the corner. This Wang Shuimei sent her daughter to Wenjiang Academy. My daughter was raped and her lower body was severely cracked. I can only live with a urine bag for the rest of my life. Li Mumu's eyes wandered. She instantly thought of a suitable punishment for her. Come out. My ancient torture instrument, big iron horse. Come out. My big horse. The master of nature is passive. Start up. Made from the purest iron elements. Condensed into a tall and mighty iron horse. The indescribable thing on the saddle. It is the soul of this instrument of torture. Aunt Wang, should we go through the process or start directly? Li Mumu said with a smile. Anyway, this group of people is inherently weird. There was no pressure at all for him to torture. As for their reasons for doing this. Tired of hearing it. Tired of hearing it. There is no other reason except for the good of the children. Anyway, if you don't obey them, you are rebellious, you are in need of discipline, and you need to be reformed. I don't want it. I'm not wrong. I'm doing it for my daughter's good. Which parent in this world is willing to harm his own child? I don't want it. Wang Shuimei said with a pale face. After learning what happened to her daughter. Although there have been times of sadness and regret. But she is more cheerful. If you don't listen to me, look what it's like. All the reasons are because you are disobedient. So she didn't hold the school accountable afterwards. What? You said it's not strong enough. Li Mumu took out his earwax. This is the first time I heard such a request. Must be satisfied. Snapped. Li Mumu snapped his fingers. The iron horse, the instrument of torture, was quickly reorganized, and finally turned into something that everyone was satisfied with. Aunt Wang, are you satisfied this time? I don't want it, I don't want it, I don't want it, I'm right, ah. Puff. Blood spilled everywhere. In order to ensure that Wang Shuimei would not fall into coma. Li Mumu also built a blood transfusion device for her. Prevent excessive blood loss and lack of oxygen to the brain. Then the old rules followed. Gouge out your eyeballs and close your voice. This is not a fixed position. Because the iron horse is a torture instrument, allowing the prisoner to twist on it is also one of the punishments. After finishing cooking Wang Shuimei, Li Mumu looked at Zhang Shalwa with a smile. Aunt Zhang, hee. Studio. Holy shit, in the past, the weird live broadcasts were all about watching weird murders, and I was frightened for the contestants. But this time it has become one of the top 10 tortures of the Qing dynasty. Upstairs, the top 10 tortures of the Manchu Qing dynasty that you mentioned had better be serious. Scum, when you become parents, you will know the difficulties of parents. Difficulty. If you think it's difficult, don't get into it. Table turning emoji. It's so funny, then why are some families just harmonious and beautiful? Are their children rebellious from birth? Some parents never think they have a problem, which is really sad. But this thing is really an ancient torture device. It's so scary. Hey, this thing is considered low-end. Does Iron Maiden know something about it? Strange story in the hospital. Li Mumu walked towards Zhang Shalwa with a smile. Put your hands on Zhang Shalwa's shoulders. Zhang Shalwa was so frightened that her whole body trembled. But because of fear, he didn't dare to make any move. Aunt Zhang, look, I'm quite easy to talk to. Yeah. I'm not that unreasonable, right? Yeah. Then let's talk about your son first, okay? Yeah. Okay. Logically speaking, your son is already 25 years old, working age. Why do you want to send him to a reform academy? Because he is addicted to the internet. This internet is a bad product. We are afraid that his life will be ruined. Huh. Aunt Zhang, you are dishonest. Li Mumu put his hand on Zhang Shalwa's shoulder slightly. I could clearly hear the sound of several bone cracks. Ah. It hurts so much, it hurts me to death. Zhang Shalwa immediately screamed. Aunt Zhang, I'm just easy to talk to, not easy to lie to. I'll give you a chance to say it again. Li Mumu said with a smile. After all, the information shows that Zhang Shalwa's son not only makes money by opening an online store, but also often subsidizes his family. Logically speaking, there is no such thing as destruction. I said, my son did make a little money, but the things on the internet are fictitious. Who knows if he used some fraud to get the money? I don't worry, and ever since he started making money, he has become more and more impatient when I talk to him. He won't come to eat when I ask him to eat every morning. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to cook. Do you think it's easy for me? Every time he makes excuses, he says he has a lot of orders at night and is busy. Who knows what he is busy with? Maybe he is learning bad things from others on the internet. Tisk. Lee Mumu was angry. I told you not to eat breakfast after staying up late at night. Still shouting. Then if I don't listen, I don't understand you. What the hell is this? Hey, that's all I can say. Stay away from internal friction. Stay away from families who cannot empathize. But Lee Mumu is different. He is very empathetic. Since Aunt Jong is so worried that the internet is a cancer. Then simply schedule an electroshock treatment course. After taking care of 3 patients, Lee Mumu opened the door and walked out. Today's treatment is complete. He planned to visit other wards. Mainly because his original purpose of going offline today was to eat. Although the Lord of Nature can make any delicious food at will. But this thing is like a mage kneading bread. I always feel a little uncomfortable with the things I create. Go out and take a look. Door 407 next door. The little fat man was squatting at the door smoking melancholy. Hey, what are you feeling sentimental about? Lee Mumu greeted. Ah, master, you're done. It's nothing, I just feel a little bit. Xiaopong handed one to Lee Mumu. However, Lee Mumu waved his hand and refused. He was in such a good mood now that he didn't need anything like tobacco to regulate his mood. What, seeing your patient remember his unfortunate childhood? Lee Mumu said with a venomous tongue. The corner of Xiaopong's mouth twitched. You have to be a great god, otherwise you would have been a big mouther. I just pity their children. One of my patients has a peanut allergy and refuses to eat peanuts. His parents thought he was a picky eater and sent him to a rehabilitation center. Xiaopong blew out a puff of smoke. Another one secretly opened the child's file bag, causing the file to become invalid. His child lost his temper. The parents thought the child was too rebellious and sent him to be rehabilitated. God, what do you think this is all about? After Xiaopong finished speaking, he stamped out the cigarette butt. Then how do you cook them? Lee Mumu looked at Xiaopong's sentimental look. I'm also curious about how he deals with these weird things. So he opened the door smoothly. Then, close the door. Hell is empty, the devil is in the world. Lee Mumu looked at the honest little fat man. It's true that people cannot be judged by their appearance. Hey, master, are you all here? Xiao Yu walked out of ward 406 on the side. He walked towards them cheerfully. Let's go eat. My patient told me that we nurses have a special canteen. Hey, Xiao Yu, how are you doing there? Lee Mumu asked casually. Harmful, what else can be done? This group of little Karami are just very aggressive. No matter how they are tortured, they say it is for the sake of their children, not for their own selfishness. Xiao Yu doesn't care. The families of these people. The only thing that can be considered a fine tradition. It's just stubbornness. Tisk, everyone is in the same situation. Call the others and go eat. Lee Mumu greeted the 2 of them. Wuya passed by and was in charge of the ward. Perverted laughter and the sound of whips waving could be heard coming from inside. The 3 of them were too embarrassed to open the door directly. After knocking on the door, the sound immediately stopped. Wuya came out with that green face. The boy was having a great time. If he hadn't just heard the noise inside, it would have been so violent. I really thought your boy was an innocent male college student. We are going to have dinner together, will you go? Okay, master, let me take care of it first. After Wuya finished speaking, he closed the door. Ah, oh, After letting out a series of strange gasps, Wuya came out again. Master, it's done. Let's go. Wuya said with a smile. He looked harmless to humans and animals. Lee Mumu looked at Wuya, always feeling a little familiar. Don't you think you are also a member of Kaneki? Hey, master, you also know the Golden Wood Society. My choice is indeed right. Unfortunately, their membership review is very strict. I am still in the review period. Wuya said with some regret. Finally, we came to the ward that Xiaoging was in charge of. The painting style is much more normal. Muscular man practicing boxing. It's just that the sandbags are 3 weird ones. Xiao Gang, it's time to eat, do you want to come together? Okay, great God. There are 5 people in the eternal game world. Collect them all. Finally, I blamed classmate Li Jun who was frightened in the ward. Just like Shashong Canteen in the same dormitory in the university. The group of people marched toward the canteen. Li Mumu said he hadn't felt this way for a long time. Unexpectedly, in this strange world, he actually felt a warm feeling. I wonder if you have noticed a problem. On the way, Fatty spoke. What's wrong? Li Mumu, who was reminiscing about his youth, talked to him. Under normal circumstances, the equipment in our immortality game cannot be brought into the real world. Xiaopong said seriously. Huh, weren't you chosen directly from the immortality game? Xiaogang was confused. Because before he was called into the weird live broadcast, he was working out his muscles with the big brothers from the muscle modification department. Dwang. That's it. So he didn't think there was anything strange about wearing the equipment. That's true of you. Li Mumu said that he felt something was wrong. After all, after coming to this world, more time will be spent in the game of immortality. The real world feels like a way station. Moreover, not even a fraction of his current basic attributes and equipment bonuses can be seen. The rules and elements of this world are almost the same as those in the immortality game. He hadn't thought about it at this time, strictly speaking. They are in two games yet. It reminded him of a certain sword. In the later stages of different games, equipment and character attributes can be inherited from each other. Then a certain master took over his own size. Defeated the boss. I suspect there may be some connection between this weird live broadcast and the immortality game. Xiaopong pushed up the non-existent glasses on his nose. I used to be a programmer. Do you think it's possible that between the immortal game and the weird live broadcast, although the presentation methods are different, the underlying logic is the same, so the data will be common? Xiao Yu thought carefully. It's not impossible. Anyway, they all come suddenly and then force humans to understand supernatural powers. The little fat man said with a pout. Hey, why are you thinking so much? If the sky falls, a tall man will hold it up, right, Master Li? The little fat man said in a mean tone. Li Mumu gave him a roll of his eyes. He has always been the yin and yang of others. When will it be someone else's turn to yin and yang him? I don't know. The underlying logic and rules of the two worlds are the same, but there are no more sample references. I don't know whether the worlds with supernatural abilities are the same, or whether the immortal game and the weird live broadcast are the same. Source. Li Mumu shook his head and said he didn't know. His master nature can be felt passively. There is no difference between the components of this world and the eternal game world. But in the real world, you will obviously feel that something is missing. If you follow what the pheasant said, there will be more similar situations in the future. With reference objects for comparison, he will be able to understand clearly. What the hell, why do you think so much? Just make food and make food. Xiaopong felt that the topic was a bit heavy. Quickly change the topic. In any case, these little losers couldn't figure it out. As for Li Mumu, although everyone calls him the great god, but everyone also knows that this guy is a newbie. They may not necessarily know as much about the game of immortality as they do. The arrival of weird live broadcasts is for other parallel worlds. Could be a disaster. But for people in the world of immortality games, it's really just a recreational thing. Grass. You just give this stuff to your employees. Xiaopong punched the cooking countertop and flew away. To say it was gushy was an understatement. Sour and black vegetable soup. You can also see a few fat white maggots swimming inside. A few pieces of steamed buns that can be used as bricks. Oh, are you not satisfied with the food in my cafeteria? When the vegetable ant saw this situation, she suddenly became excited. How many times? This weird live broadcast has been broadcast for several rounds of their dungeons. Every time those little waste in the ward eat up people in the ward. Or just realize the weird and scary thing in the ward. When you get to the cafeteria, give them a piece of shit. They would just eat in silence. Don't give these weird people working in the cafeteria a chance to make trouble. As a result, she almost forgot the taste of human flesh. See for yourself, this is for human consumption. The little fat heavenly master sent the cafeteria lady's head flying with a slap. Li Jun, who was watching on the sidelines, was very happy. When will I be able to do whatever I want like the big guys? I'm tired of saying the word, envy. The cafeteria ant's best friend who was slapped on the head stumbled and picked up the head. Installed. You're done. I'm going to eat you. After the cafeteria lady finished speaking, her whole body began to swell. Thick white hair grows on the body. At the same time, the human face also began to change into a pig head. Eat you, eat you, eat you. Little fatty, please handle it gently. We have to eat later, so don't affect everyone's dining mood. Li Mumu turned around and handed the scene over to Xiaopong. He is a little anxious now. Mainly due to his desire for gossip. What does this weird live broadcast have to do with the immortality game? Gossip is the driving force behind human development. Because gossip needs to be told. So humans invented language. Because gossip needs to be recorded. So humans invented writing. Because gossip needs to be shared over a distance. So humans invented the telephone. Because the gossip needs to be recorded in more detail. So humans invented cameras. Because the gossip needs to be shared with everyone. So humans invented movies again. In summary, gossip. It is the cornerstone of human development. Human beings can come all the way from the distant ancient little monkeys to the present. It's all because of the endless desire for gossip. Therefore, the connection between this immortal game and the weird live broadcast left Li Mumu with a knot in his throat. There must be something fishy between them. But what exactly is this trick? Ah, it hurts. Li Mumu felt uncomfortable. What's wrong, great God? Xiaogang took out a protein powder jar as tall as a person from his backpack. While making myself protein powder, I asked with concern. If a person is at the bottom, he may see a society full of malice. But once you reach a certain height, you will see many people showing unconditional kindness to themselves. Li Mumu is in this state now. The reason why people around him praise him so much is not because of his powerful strengthening talent. It's that Li Mumu is great himself, and he can also make people around him become great. Who can resist taking a few licks when a guy who can make money for himself and make a lot of money appears next to him? Hey, I was just wondering what the connection is between the eternal world and the weird live broadcast. Li Mumu told the truth. Oh, God, please don't make yourself unhappy. I don't know what the connection is. It's just because we know too little information now. Sooner or later, we will know it one day. Xiaogang dug himself a big spoonful of protein powder. You have thick eyebrows and big eyes. I didn't expect you to be so open-minded. Just like me, I was just a thin bamboo pole at the beginning. I envied those muscular men, but I knew that their figures could not be built in a day. The same is true for this question. Looking for the answer when there is a question is that just thinking about it will not do anything. It will work. Xiaogang showed his white front teeth and smiled. The white teeth kept flashing ineffectively. What you said sounds reasonable. But it's me, Xiao Li. It was because of my strong desire that I awakened this talent. I feel so uncomfortable, just like a well-known paparazzi suddenly broke the news that in 10 days, he will decrypt the information about a well-known male movie star. These 10 days can drive Li Mumu to death. Hey, what are you talking about? After cooking the pig head, cafeteria auntie's little fat guy came back. It's still the same old topic on the walk. Xiao Yu glanced at Xiaopong and replied. That's it. No matter what the connection is, we haven't understood it yet in this weird live broadcast room. Strength is the last word. Xiaopong said and looked at Li Mumu enviously. That's true, but aren't you surprised that so many extraordinary things suddenly appeared on Blue Star? Li Mumu responded. What's the point? 3 years ago, you told me that humans could rub fireballs with their hands. I would have said it was fantastic. Then the immortality game came. When it first came, some experts said it was a conspiracy by aliens. Let's don't log in, what's the result? Xiaopong was a little dissatisfied. What happened? As a result, Capital teamed up with these experts to tell everyone not to believe this, and then said that Blue Star people should boycott and the currency properties of banknotes would not change. Then during that period, many people sold their lifespans and exchanged them for a bunch of waste paper. Yes, I also exchanged a lot of them at that time. I thought I would make a fortune, but I didn't expect that not long after I got it, it became useless paper. +1, +1, +1. So this world has been dominated by the jungle for a long time, and the world has not always been dominated by the jungle. However, because of the advent of the immortality game, the strength of individuals has increased infinitely. Xiaopeng took a sip of water, looked at Li Mumu and continued. So, whether it's the immortal game or this weird live broadcast, in my opinion, they are all for screening and purification. Oh, your understanding is interesting. Li Mumu's eyes lit up, and he felt as if he had caught something. Master, haven't you noticed? The immortal game is relatively kind, but according to normal games, either everyone has the same level limit, or they can all be upgraded infinitely. However, there is a special exception of the only profession in this immortal game. What's wrong? If you watch the weird live broadcast, it is more straightforward. Inferior players will be eliminated directly. However, the immortal game gives everyone an opportunity. But in fact, without a unique profession, the opportunity for unlimited growth is lost. Xiaopeng was silent after finishing speaking. This is also the biggest pain for these 500-level players. The game of immortality seems fair. Talents have no levels. Everyone's talents can be infinitely sublimated and gain powerful power. All careers are earned by oneself, giving everyone hope. But when they reached their level, they realized how big the gap was. The sublimation of talent is said to be unlimited, but there are no clear rules and everyone's is different. The only thing that can clearly improve strength is level. The game of immortality has only been around for 3 years, and they, the 500-level max level players, can barely watch it. But what about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? It will become a playground for professional players only. Why? As a level 500 player, Xiao Yu feels deeply the pain of not being able to continue to improve in strength. After experiencing the pleasure brought by the improvement of strength, he told him that he would never experience it again. It's really going to break people down. Hey, then wouldn't it be a good thing for you that the strange live broadcast is coming? Li Mumu saw that the atmosphere was so gloomy. Can't help but think. Since there is no way to improve in the immortal game, it is impossible that there is no place to improve the strength in this weird live broadcast. You can't just send people in to die. Hey, Master, you want to talk about the strengthening system of the weird live broadcast. As expected of you, you are considerate. Master, you have already said that there is no difference in the underlying logic of the power structure of the two worlds. I just saw the strengthening potions that can be provided in this weird live broadcast. They are sold casually in the auction house of the eternal world, and they are of no use. Okay. Watching this group of people suddenly become so emo. Li Mumu was a little embarrassed and felt uncomfortable. After all, he has a unique profession, and it's over 18,000 levels. Hee, here comes the chicken soup. The pig-headed cafeteria lady who was beaten into a pig's head was holding a pot of chicken soup and shouted flatteringly. Hey, I didn't expect you to have normal food here. Li Mumu was a little surprised. I thought that in this weird world, the only food I could eat was tribute. Originally, he planned to pinch a few ingredients himself and ask the kitchen to make them. This saves trouble. Sir, you are joking. Although our weird world is mainly weird, in other aspects it is no different from the human world. Pig 2 said strangely and flatteringly. Is that so, Li Jun? Does each copy of Weird Live exist independently? Li Mumu asked Li Jun for confirmation. Master, it's not like this. In the world of Weird Live, although each copy has its own range, it is only for us players. Within this range, we only need to abide by the rules. Weird will not be able to harm us. Once we go out of this range, you will no longer be protected by the rules. Li Jun replied respectfully, even a little flattered. Woohoo! Great, I am somewhat useful as a guide. That's it. Which of you is interested in going out with me later? Li Mumu's eyes lit up. I will have to stay in this hospital for at least 3 days. But this hospital was no longer fun for him. To put it simply, I'm tired of it. After meal, Xiaopeng and Xiao Yu decided to go out and explore with Li Mumu. One is that they have reached level 500. A brand new world means the possibility of improving their strength. Although the things in this weird live streaming mall cannot catch their eyes. But maybe there is something else. As for Wu Ya, he said he wanted to go back to continue treating the patient, while Xiaoging wanted to exercise his muscles. Li Jun's own strength was low and he was too embarrassed to hold back, so he didn't follow. The three of them walked to the door of the hospital. It's obviously just an iron gate. But can't see anything outside. Li Mumu is the strongest one here. A man of great skill is bold. Take one step forward. Warning, the player has left the dungeon range and is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Please return as soon as possible. Please return as soon as possible. A strange live broadcast notification sounded in my ears. And enter the goal. It's a busy street. The sun hangs high in the sky, always in an annular eclipse. As well as, the streets were full of weird and strange people, drooling and looking at him greedily. Humans. There are humans. It's a human being who left the protected area. He's in a good mood today. Ha ha ha, let's take a walk after dinner. I didn't expect there would be a midnight snack. It smells so good, better than any human I've ever tasted. A group of weird people saw Li Mumu. Like fool in heat, they pounced on me. Retreat. Li Mumu didn't need to do anything at all. Xiaopong just threw out a talisman. Suddenly golden light exploded. The strangeness that rushed ahead melted away quickly like snowflakes falling on a stove. Those who are farther away are also missing arms and legs. It was a miserable situation. Master, are you okay? Xiaopong expressed concern, although he knew it was redundant. But face work must be done enough. This weird world is big enough. Yes, Xiaochuang and Xiaoging responded. They thought Li Mumu was talking about this strange street. In fact, Li Mumu was talking about this whole weird world. You need to know his current spirit. On Blue Star, sweep a circle with your mind and cover the entire planet. It's all trivial. Even extending outward, the moon held no secrets from him. But this weird world is different. His spiritual power is endless. In other words, this weird world is at least bigger than Blue Star. As for the eternal world, tell a joke. Li Mumu's current mental power cannot even detect the sky in the eternal world. So big. Ouch, shit, Xiaopong suddenly exclaimed. Master, you go ahead and do your work first. I'm going to catch some little ghosts. I just saw some little ghosts with special talents. They can make a lot of money by selling them to the old gang of ghost cultivators. Xiaopong chased out excitedly. Li Mumu ignored him. Then he picked a weird one who just wanted to eat him. Crack. Strangled to death. No experience. It seems that the plan to have a Matryoshka doll failed. Focus your energy on the tattoo on your wrist. No change. The plan to log in directly from the weird live broadcast world also failed. I have no experience, but I can't log in either. It can only mean that this weird live broadcast world is similar in nature to the eternal world. But it's not the same world. Who dares to commit murder on the street? An angry shout came, interrupting Li Mumu's thinking. Look up. I saw a black armored knight riding a nether war horse, staring blankly at Li Mumu. Humanity. The black armored knight looked at Li Mumu with confusion. Human, return to your area. Heijia actually didn't take action directly. Instead, he persuaded Li Mumu to return to the dungeon area. This made Li Mumu feel a little strange. After all, this was the first time he entered this strange world. The first one did not see the desire for human flesh in his eyes. Huh, if you don't eat the toast, you'll have to drink wine as a penalty. The black armored knight clamped his saddle hard. From the nose of the nether war horse, a meter-long snort came out. Then the war horse rushed towards Li Mumu with all its strength. The great god gave it to me. Xiao Yu stood still with his legs, standing between the black armored knight and Li Mumu. In an instant, the waist and horse become one. Keep your shoulders forward. Iron Mountain. A strong energy emanates. The nether war horse that was sprinting was directly knocked to pieces by Xiao Yu. As for the black armored knight, also due to inertia, the reconnection flew out from the horse's back. He landed on his knees, just kneeling like this, and slid straight in front of Li Mumu. Well, this was done deliberately by Li Mumu using his telekinesis. By the way, he also used his ability called Juzu to quietly freeze a passage on the ground. Reduce friction so that the black armored knight can kneel more smoothly. Not bad. This guy is really good at pretending. The black armored knight knelt down in front of Li Mumu. Still confused. Who am I and where am I? Where is my horse? Where's the nether war horse that's as big as me? This war horse is staged. There are still 10 years left to repay the loan. Snapped. Li Mumu slapped the black armored knight on the face. Say or not. Quote. Snapped. Li Mumu slapped the black armored knight on the face again. Of course they are all restrained. Otherwise, let's not talk about the black armored knight's head. This street has to be turned to dust. But even if he restrained his strength like this, the black armored knight would not feel comfortable. 2 slaps down, fangs in the mouth. And all announced they were laid off. Oh, you have a tough mouth. Snapped. The black armored knight was originally deceived, but Li Mumu's brain was almost shaken with a few slaps. Da Nen, why do you want me to say something? The guide wire is stable. Seeing that the next slap is coming again, the black armored knight quickly answered. Because all his teeth were missing, he could barely speak. But none of this matters. What's important is that the terrifying human being in front of him is about to be slapped again. What are you going to ask? Just ask. If you don't ask, what should I say? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.